It happened to me once and it was incredibly embarrassing. I really don't want to get into that.
What was on the note?
It was I think I was doing love poetry in 8th grade. It was unsuccessful. Do not write poems.
Why am I not surprised?
What?
All right. You can, well, I have.
Still hurts.
I know, it's fine. Let's
big
talk
fan
Dota.
of Lion Timbersaw as an opener. It's part of why coming into this series, I think Alliance really have looked like the better team. You know, there's a reason they're already 2-0, and I think that this open specifically into the Wisp, which I imagine they left purposefully, it just makes a lot of sense in this spot.
Dire team
It's clean. It's nice.
Yeah,
it works.
We saw the IO not be super successful earlier. Obviously, it was a different combo. It was with a Luna in itself, not that successful.
I think credit to Nigma, though. They have run the IO gyro before.
Yes.
This was also the series that we saw the mid Sand
oh yeah.
Off-lane Darkseer. And just I think the amount of times RTW was able to put himself in these dangerous positions, then suddenly the IO heal comes in, and that kind of collapsing factor of Nigma. And I think that's the big disparity right now that we have to look for between Alliance and Nigma, is how they approach the early game. You know, Alliance, they are laning phase centric the team, where they focus more on winning their lanes, collapsing on mid, but they aren't like death balling as quick. Compare that to Nigma, they will play their lanes and they'll look to try and clump up as quick as possible. Proki has mentioned this in several interviews now, that this is the philosophy that they really want to install within the guys, and that's why I think when you see a gyro response to the Timber, they're going to be able to play a decently strong lane. They have the magic damage, and then they can collapse very quickly.
When we saw Team Nigma play against Team Liquid the other day, that was the second series we saw. The first one was versus Secret, where they played super snappy, super fast, right? And we thought that that was going to be the Team Nigma that we were going to see every game. When they played against Team Liquid, that wasn't really the case. Yeah,
they ran into a brick wall, otherwise known as team fight. And when you want to play quick and fast, team fight just destroys that.
Now, we know that Alliance is best when they have the time to prepare and when they have the time to study their opponents in depth. And they obviously will have pinpointed the weaknesses of Team Nigma's playstyle, Kyle.
Yeah, I think it's hard to point those out this early into their swap, but I would say that the way that Nigma opens drafts sometimes bites them, because they give away their win condition really early on a lot of the time. They've done so here with the first 2 Wisp gyro, and it forces you into a scenario where the bans in your second phase are must-haves, notably the AA and the Morphling. You cannot give these heroes up to Alliance. They will pick them.
Even
your entire win condition is gone. And Void, yeah, it is Nico, baby. You can't really give the man Void either.
Yeah, and I remember the Alliance series. That was basically the big Void series between Alliance and OG, where OG started it, the game 1 with the Void, wins. Game 2, Alliance responds. You know, we'll go for the Void themselves. And yeah, I think this hero, it is going to be rising in popularity in due course. The fact that your time dilation does a little bit of damage, it gives you some more kind of entry to fights when you don't have Chrome.
Yep, we got Lions getting the Snapfire. We see that hero be banned very frequently due to her lane dominance, no matter in what role, but mostly 5.
Yeah, it's not going to be too bad for Nigma though, because like I said, Alliance is lane centric. They focus so heavily here, and they still can pick their 4 and their 5 to deal with this. Of course, when I say 4, I mean whatever hero Kuroki wants to play, because normally GH is playing the IO with the gyro, but
yeah,
the idea that Kuroki will feel a bit more of a farming role in this scenario.
Yeah. This match is huge. Alliance so far have beaten
they've beaten
Liquid and OG.
Yep.
So if they're able to take out Nigma here, yeah, there's still a date with Secret somewhere on the schedule, but
they would have beaten 3 out of the big 4.
Exactly. And 3 out of the big 4, you know, I think OG and Nigma specifically, in a way, are better to play now than a couple weeks from now, when they've had more time to gel with their changes.
Yeah.
And Alliance, of all the European teams with the exception of Secret, are in the best position to qualify to TI directly on points. So
yeah, it's like get to major and secure an extra bonus.
If they're first in this season, they're most likely just qualified on points.
Sure.
And a lot of ways, you know, if you're a fan of the European region, you're probably rooting for Alliance here too.
True, because that means you've got more points in the region, and you're rather more teams already making it to TI, therefore less chance to be or more chance for more teams making it to TI.
The perfect storm would be if Secret were to win again, and then Alliance would not come second, but let's say an OG did, you would now have a scenario where you
Alright,
need
Kyle,
Europe to be like top 4 to
quickly
make
then,
get
quickly.
spots.
With this kind of analysis that we're going down now, if you had to list 4 European teams that you want to see at TI, you know, for the ability to win it, you know,
Oh,
you
that's
want
tough.
Europe to come home. I need
All right.
4 teams right now. Go.
Secret, OG, Nigma.
And then there's Alliance and Liquid.
But no, I need to hear a team. You can't flake it out. I need you to say your 4.
LAN performance-wise, as a European fan, want to see Europe do well. I would go for Team Liquid. They have more results proven on LAN.
And then Kyle, what are we saying over here, Chief?
I think that we'll just have to see how the games play out. T, I don't like to make predictions without enough supporting evidence to really stand behind what I'm saying.
Just checking.
I don't just pull things out of a hat.
I pulled things out of a hat. I get paid to do that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's a nice pick.
I do like the Enchantress.
Could be a core. This is an MC special.
Yeah, maybe. I would love to see it just simply as like the Liquid effect. You know, Nigma plays Liquid.
Yeah,
They
the 4 position.
experienced the Tiger and Enchantress, and now Kuroki needs to play into that other lane away from the gyro. So it's like, well, why not pick a 5 that has become somewhat a 4 because of Liquid? Very tanky. Soda Crest, Hood.
Oh, and shout out also to Simon, the birthday boy on camera, right?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Makes me
Happy
sad because
birthday.
I remember celebrating a birthday with him like
Why,
2 years ago back in the
why
day.
does that make you sad? Shouldn't it make you happy? Were the memories that sad? Did you have such a bad time 2-3 years ago on his birthday? Did you lose a tournament?
I don't think we were winning.
That's fair.
And was Tiny banned out?
Wow.
Tiny, not yes, bad
of
first
course it was.
phase.
Now that is a smart move, and I would recommend, and I think we will see this throughout the rest of this European season. If you are playing against Alliance, ban Limps Tiny. It is a bad idea to leave that in the pool.
He had such an amazing game on that versus OG the other day. It was insane.
Look what they've replaced it with. Limp's hero archetype preference is a stunning, killing hero. Sand King, even though Miracle showed prowess on it earlier in this tournament, Sand King is not a Tiny. It's not as tanky, doesn't scale as well, and it's not nearly as effective with the Blink Dagger.
I guess the last time that we saw a team try and emulate the mid Sand King, I think it was Liquid with Koikova.
Yeah.
The issue was he was the one that had to start the fight, therefore you didn't ever get the good epis, you couldn't have the kind of this game-changing bar strike. So now, at least for Alliance, they do have this Timbersaw frontline, most likely S4, and then this Sand King Snapfire combo that one could be mid, one could be 4. Like, I expect it just to be mid Sand King, like Carl just mentioned. But yeah, he can start the fight next. I like the fact that, I like Nigma's Storm pick here, just to be able to ignore Timber, get past him, jump the Snapfire, prevent that damage, and both drafts are looking very aligned to the teams. They're not really overreacting to what they're seeing. They're just kind of making sure that they have, the Alliance has the pieces of the puzzle that they need, and Nigma, they're sticking to their guns.
Something that I think Alliance would benefit from greatly, I'm coming back to the point of ranking teams for TI. I think Alliance has what it takes to win, but they normally are not, so far, I've not really been able to show that on LAN, but they can,
to be fair,
get an esports psychologist. That I think, no,
What? Where did we go? Jeez.
I'm being serious. There's a lot of teams that are struggling with
online.
at the moment.
I guess the real
at the
angle,
moment they got a week to prepare for a series.
I think the main angle here is like a lot of teams in the online space haven't had that kind of LAN experience.
Look,
and
But you're gonna have to adapt in like. Okay, so
true.
there's only
Hear
2
me out.
more LANs,
It's
probably,
spooky.
right?
The thing is,
It's only upcoming major and TI.
Leipzig
How are
major,
you
they were
gonna
4th
fix
place.
your issues? What?
Leipzig major, they were 4th place. Who's to say there's issues? How about why do we
Different
have majors
roster.
where you play 7 series in 2 days?
That's true too.
And then in this league, we're playing 7 series in 6 weeks.
That is true too. They are
'Cause
definitely
preparation is important.
Yeah, and they're not
On
like
or
this.
offline.
This DPC league is not setting teams up for success at the major.
No.
In
You know
just
it
the way
sets
of
up-
playing. I agree with that as
The
well. If
rich
that
get
was
richer.
changed, I'd be fully down, and I would definitely think Alliance.
If you
is a great
win the
spot.
league, you get to chill. Everybody else plays the marathon of Dota. You hang out and wait to prep for your matchup.
True, and they
This
could
is-
actually do really well with that if they don't have to play group stages. I
And this
like
is
that actually
their
a lot.
chance.
Yeah. So in that sense, this win is of utmost importance, and really
Very good for
both teams.
Okay.
Love that is one of the better heroes against Sand King. I believe that'll be
ET offlane.
no Kuro's hero, right?
So you mean Ench offlane with ET then being that kind of 4
Good point.
5?
I'm actually not sure. You know what? Well, it's likely a GH Wisp.
I
Right?
would say it's Elder Titan Mind Control.
I think you might be right. And a Kuro Enchantress.
Yeah.
5
Okay.
seconds remaining.
I can dig
Laning
that.
setup from Nigma will be very interesting. Yeah, no, Alliance scope, you know, the standard. You know, we got to pick a carry. What's available? Well,
Does that make it a
very
limp
risky.
Snapfire?
It
No.
is the MC and ET. Cool.
Huh. Okay.
FNG Snap.
So this is interesting because MC should have a beast of a time. This is an incredible Ags ET game. You're going to get that spirit, the BKB effect, and just wham people with the briefcase. Alliance, a lot of stuns, a lot of kill potential, but I'm worried about their team fight.
I like the fact that Nigma has covered himself from the Timber with Gyro in one lane, Enchantress in the other. I think in the big picture team fights, the Wraith King factor will enable a lot of the damage that Alliance is trying to bring into the fight. So it's all on Nika Baby and S4 being in kind of the front line, which they normally are. And for Nigma, it's their way of taking the fight is kind of bait out the Gyro, make them collapse on him. Io comes back in, saves the day, then suddenly you have ET on top, Storm on top. So yeah, the team fights in this game should be phenomenal. I think this will be a very good game, and both teams have like the most comfortable drafts for themselves.
Yeah,
And
the
it's gonna
S4 Timber.
Exactly. It's
Love
gonna be
it.
completely on how they're performing in the day. I think, yeah, I don't know. It's very close. Both teams looking good.
Comfort draft for both.
I'd say lanes are going to affect this match more than typically, specifically mid, Storm versus Sand King. I think it's got to be Storm favored, but we'll see. Like, I have yet to see Sand King demonstrate it's a real mid hero, not just niche with a Dark Seer and a hard carry and support.
Yeah.
This is a bit awkward. This is literally just Tiny was banned, replacing it with the next best. I'm not a huge believer in that.
Oh, let's find out how this game is going to play itself. We're ready for game 1 together. Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yeah, should be an excellent one here. Alliance versus Nigma. Fogged, we've seen the lineups. What do you sort of make of it? The panel seems to reckon a lot of fighting, a lot of action. Who's going to come out on top, though?
Oh man, I don't know. A lot of scaling potential on the side of Nigma. However, lots of stuns, lots of team fighting on Alliance. And I think this mid matchup is going to be the biggest one for me, like how it's going to end up going. I've never seen Sand King versus that Storm. I'd imagine the Storm should be able to do quite well. I don't think you're going to get bullied too much as long as you get some help around the runes and, you know, you're not just completely left alone. However, like overall in the game plan, there's a lot of setup stun for that Storm Spirit. Like he's going to have a tough time getting in and out. And on the side of Nigma, they don't really have many stuns whatsoever. It's like an ET stop, a vortex, a missile. It's quite limited.
Yeah, that is true. And talk about the ET, a good game to push the ET up to the core position, have mind control player here on the offlane.
It'll give them extra damage. I think that's the biggest thing, is that I've seen a lot of these Timber Saws just be unkillable. When you have Gyro, Io, and ET, you have all this amplified for the magic damage. It's gonna make that hero bleed. It's gonna make that hero look a lot more vulnerable than usual. And in lane, you know, if the skeletons do get summoned and all that, you get the extra damage, the extra armor. You might be able to punch back. That being said, though, Wraith King and Snapfire, I've seen this lane a lot now, and it's scary. The crit combination with the -8 armor, with the Blightstone and Little Shredder, it's potent. But yeah, we'll see how this all works, because it's a little bit of a difference in the way they actually normally play, right? Kuroki's playing an Enchantress and they have an Io, so they don't really have these active heroes early on. It's going to be dependent on if Kuro gets a creep for him to really make any moves or just secure the lane very nicely.
No, for sure, yeah. All of Nigma's early game moves are going to be entirely around what their cores really set up themselves.
I'm going to stare at mid, though, because I think this is going to be really important.
Okay. I mean, you know,
especially in the first few waves.
You know, we know Miracle knows how the hero plays. He was one of the ones to bring it out first, the mid Sand King, so he'll know exactly what he's up against.
He just needs to hit him a lot, right? Like, if you're the Storm, you just hit the Sand King in the early phase. You know he's gone caustic, so you try to just keep him down low and just keep him always constantly harassed. And then it's going to be dependent on who gets those water runes, if they get checked or not. Yeah, I think at like level 3 and 4, when Vortex gets online, it gets quite a bit harder for Sand King. But Limp might be able to do something special, because I haven't seen this matchup much.
Sure. Now we'll see how much Limp can pressure Miracle in this mid. Miracle is going to be able to deal with it and nuke the way back with the remnants. Top lane S4. Oh, he's dead. First blood for GH up here as Nigma. They'll get the first bit of action as S4. That's just, you know, he's having a tough time. That they were fully able to sort of zone them back away from the lane. You see S4's XP, he's barely touched a creep at the moment.
Yeah, just the missile and the right clicks, and it's a scary lane, because, you know, we know how Timber works. You know, you're level 3, you're going to be pretty unkillable with reactive. However, Io and Gyro, there's a pretty big amplify, a 10% spell amp, 50 attack speed granted to Gyro. It might be that little difference maker that can just push S4 out. As Unskin might just die here too with this missile.
See, they're running him down. S4's not going to be able to do anything to stop GH from just right-clicking the hand scan out of the lane. Another kill here for the duo of Nigma.
And Kuroki, he has actually found himself a very good creep, the Harpy Stormcrasher. So the spam will come out, but he might actually die. He steps up into the two of them.
All right, here's Alliance able to kick back on the other side of the map. Of course, that strong duo, as you said, this Wraith King Snapfires, certainly going to pack a punch if Nigma's heroes get out of position. See over by the runes, Limp's able to get him with a burrow strike. We'll be able to take that bottle refill away from Miracle. Miracle's going to try and get aggressive back onto Limp. Limp is still having the water rune in the bottle, and backup is in for Miracle. Limp popping the water rune, trying to get away. They're going to be able to take him out. So GH with some smooth moves already, backing up Miracle in the mid lane and making sure that he wins that fight around the rune.
We saw them do this the other day too when they played the IO. GH very quick TP toward the mid lane to be able to help out Miracle. He actually buys himself his own bottle too to secure runes and just keep his Gyro nice and healthy. A nice rotation. And Limp was doing good in the lane. Like these first few levels are important, but now Vortex is going to be online. He has to be a little cautious. We'll bring his own sentry just in case Miracle does bring one of his own. And they have to watch out for these DPs. I mean, this IO, these little moves that you can make, they have to try to punish ILTW if he does.
So CS in the mid lane, still very even between the two, 11-4, 11-3 between Limp and Miracle.
Mind controls hit level 3. Now the lane starts to become pretty dominant for this ET. Just gets a couple swings off and he can turn and kill. He has this increased armor too.
I mean, they're going to try and get aggressive onto him. So yeah, he can punch back just as hard, really, even though they have the minus armor debuff themselves.
It kind of matches, right? Like he gets plus, like he actually had +7 and he got -8. So it actually like completely nullified the entire little Shredder and Blightstone when he had his spirit out. So an interesting approach from Nigma to counteract that minus armor in lane.
That's true. And that's
working.
I mean, we're seeing him just being able to completely free farm down in mind control. 25 CS, top CS at the moment as the offlane ET.
And Nico Baby, I think he might actually have to bring the chainmail up quite soon because these punches are starting to hurt every time he walks out. He does buy it now. It's gonna take some time to get over there, and Kuroki he'll have a chance to build a snipe.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Seeing
Continuing to struggle.
Yeah.
He's getting a little bit.
It's a very hard lane.
But yeah, it's quite a lot of damage that is coming up between these two. Because just that little bit of bottom. I mean, now it's 2 points.
Mind control, he's trying to run in aggressively. He's got stick charges. He's going to start punching back into Nico Baby. One more hit's going to do it. Mind control gets the kill. And he's actually standing his ground, just doing as much damage as he can to FNG on the way out. As Kuroki, has he got this with the impetus? Not quite enough. FNG will live. But another trade down bottom. I mean, Mind Control, sure, he loses his life, but he's able to live, get the kill onto Nico Baby, and just continuing to really pressure this Wraith King now.
He's 31 last hits. That's pretty crazy. The Gyro not getting pressured in the same manner at all by the Timbersaw and the Lion. He's still having a much tougher time up here. So great start here for Nigma. I'm so surprised that Link's actually doing very well. So I guess I haven't seen the matchup much. So
sure.
He's able to hold his own even though he does get that rotation. Sunskin, the missile, it's gonna finish him.
Oh no. F in the chat.
I will have my revenge.
Already 2k gold lead off of these just early moves. Now it's level 4.
That's fine. It should be alright. He's got a fair few creeps tanking the rocket barrage. And also the tower punching into RTW, so Nigma won't be able to dive any further.
So many one charges. They had 16 on ILTW. They have 13 up on GH. So they can continue to put this pressure onto S4. And S4, he can't ever slow them down. And his Wraith King is getting slowed down. So this early game is feeling a little bit rough right now for Alliance.
There's 2k difference at the moment. Pressure on Limp. See what he can do after having a solid start. He's been able to farm mid, but he hasn't obviously been able to slow down Miracle's own farm. So eyes on Limp to really get the moves made here from this mid-sanking role.
He's not getting help checking the runes either. He's checking it by himself. He will get lucky, get the DD top as Kuroki is still sitting around mid.
Money changes hands.
And Limp will just be smart. He'll just stick to the jungle for now. Doesn't want to get ganked up as Kuro does have that Centaur at the ready. He does step out of position. I think S4 is going to look pretty vulnerable this game, I got to be honest. In most of the games when he's played the Timber, he's looked pretty just unkillable.
Sure.
As soon as he gets the hood, he just can't die. But this damage this damage increase that Nigma does have, it's really strong. And they already got such good levels on both of them.
And even in general, if he did have a better start, this would still be one of those games where Nigma just have the heroes to fight a Timber.
Absolutely, yeah. With the ET even being able, since he's core, he doesn't have to go for stomp early. He's gonna have even more points in the natural order, which works. It works so good. They're actually two best heroes you want to pair ET with. It's actually Storm and Gyro because they're both mixed damage, right? They're physical and magical
Dire's middle
in several
tower
different
is under
ways.
attack.
The first move though, Limp, as well as Hanskin, they're making it toward top.
I'll see what they can do. If they can
Actually bring in the snap too.
I mean, this has got to work out for Alliance. They're putting a lot of resources into this. 4 heroes up to the top.
P1s. Let's see if they can actually go for it.
See if Limp can get the jump. We're going to have Miracle up here as well. He's ready for the response. We're ready to make the movement over towards RTW. Can they burst the Gyro down low? He's getting low. The backup tip from Miracle. RTW will fall though. As Alliance, they get the kill. Now, can they get out? That's the question. FNG will fall in return. GH getting focused by S4 on Limp. S4 able to take him down. As they'll get 2 Alliance, and so will Nigma. It's a 2 for 2, but now with the representative revved up, Limp gets in under Miracle and make sure that Alliance come out on top of the trade as they take down 3.
And they're gonna get the stack too. This is huge for Alliance. At Limp's like, all right, S4, you're having a bit of a tough one. I'm gonna give you this so you get your hood finished up at a good time so you can maybe actually sustain versus all this damage. A big hit from Alliance. They break their bottom lane. The Wraith King was having trouble. He actually moves mid, but it's a good hit, as they will also clean up Miracle on top after GH and LTW.
This one's got to be a bit careful. See, they've got the magical damage to take him out.
Dire's middle tower
As they will. So straight back to lane, and they'll be able to take him out. So RTW back to picking up the kills.
Dire
And I think we're all going to be very happy. Just constant fighting from both sides. 5 to 8 already, 13
Radiant's
kills,
top
8
tower
minutes.
is under attack.
Yeah,
Limp, his blink's going to be
It's
fast.
close.
So the
Yeah.
moves around the map, he's going to be able to make constant moves, constant pressure to make space for Nico Baby that he needs. The lane was a little rough for him, so that's going to be a really good enabling factor. And there's just so many stuns. That's the thing we do always have to talk about for Alliance versus the Storm. Miracle's going to have a bit of a rough time in the game.
Yeah, not an easy one for him.
I'm just looking forward to Briefcase. I don't know about you. As
I mean, what?
seeing
Yeah.
Titan getting some pretty good farm.
And this is the way to go, right? Just straight into the Yags. You've already got the movement speed with the phase, the wind lace. You're ready to run people down. You just got to make sure you're able to stay alive.
Yeah, I don't like the... I saw some people doing like your Meteor Hammers and your Echo Sabers. If you're getting free lane, you just go the Ags. You're into so many stuns, so much magic damage. Timber Saw and Sand King can actually be really disruptive, but when you get your Ags, you don't got to worry about all that. So some downtime here, but Alliance, when
they've got...
Link,
Yeah.
Limp, he's sitting behind mid, just waiting for any move that if it comes to Nico.
Yeah, they're trying to bait. See if they fall for this Nigma as Nico Baby shows on the wave. Miracle steps up. I mean, you know, Limp, he'll be ready to dive the tower if he sees an opportunity here.
Dire's middle tower.
He's ready.
He's ready.
He's at the ready.
Dire's structures.
It's an arcane
are
rune too, so
fortified.
it'll be
Yeah.
a very nice cooldown for it if he does connect.
I mean, Miracle's been, you know, just careful enough to make sure that Limp can't quite find the chance to jump in.
Dire's middle
GH
tower
pinged it right
is
away.
under attack.
Caught a glimpse of him for a second there with the creeps. As the tower, it's dying though. Just the skeleton.
It is, yeah. But Miracle having to sit back and not being able to sort of grab the aggro off the objective. A lot of damage done. 10 minutes in this, yeah. Tier 1 just a push away from falling. Limp is going to be able to find another power rune, haste rune, and he's straight up to the top lane. Going to look for an easy kill here. Straight in onto Kuro. Easily able to take down the Enchantress with the burst between the two of them. So Alliance can now look to continue this pressure, put some pressure down to the top Tier 1 tower as well.
I love I mean, these moves from Alliance have just, they got S4 back in the game because he was having a tough laning start, but these rotations from Limp on point. Immediately going toward mid to a quick port rotation. Also pointing out, he did find a Fairy Trinket, so the dream for these Sand Kings.
Still trying to, yeah, as you say, come back and find something around it, but it seems like Nigma's being very careful to not lose someone to his movement that Alliance keep trying around the mid tower.
They're just playing it very safe with where they're farming, right? Miracle now farming in the jungle, the Gyro and the IO playing in the defensive side of the jungle the most of the time. Now they'll swing back top because they are aware of that Sand King rotation happening. And GH also pointing out, he does have a shovel, so probably one of the most fortunate items you can get on your
Dire's top
IO.
tower has been
Mangoes
denied.
and salves aplenty.
Now Miracle standing by here at the mid lane.
Dire's structures
Not
are
quite having the
fortified.
Orchid done. They're going to see if they can take the tower tonight after this fortification.
Skeletons. They're too much.
Dire's middle
Well,
tower
too much damage there for them to try and find the hit between. So Alliance will manage to find a good timing here. The tier 1 mid, 11 minutes in. 2 tier 1s already taken down by Alliance.
S4 getting all the space, already up to level 9 now, just from these little moves that they have done. FNG has soaked bottom the whole time too. He's actually pretty close to Solar Crest, so some good stuff from Alliance. And Nigma though, they're playing the greed game. They're playing that farm, so they are staying a little bit ahead in the gold. Alliance making some good objective wins.
And of course, at this stage, RTW with the backup of GH's own, they will be able to farm that a little bit more efficiently than Nico Baby can quite now. A bit of a catch-up game for him. Obviously, that will change once he has the Radiance done, and is going straight for that Radiance rush after the phase boost. No armlet here on the build-up today. 2,300 towards the relic. See Limp actually cleaning up some of the Ancients here with the help of Hansken. Making sure that, ideally he is going to get that Yule's at a timing that's not going to fall too far off the Orchid. Obviously, the Orchid is already done. So there is this window now where they have to be a little careful. Miracle will be ready to turn up, and he's got that first item. He's got that boost to his damage output.
Yeah, and although Limp, as we said, having such an excellent game, you don't want to just be a blink as your mid laner. Your blink stun, and then you just get caught and killed. You want to be able to reset, go again in afterwards. So he does want to be able to finish this one up as Nigma, they're kind of hunting for the fight. As long as they don't get initiated on too poorly, they have an overwhelming amount of damage. Natural order is maxed, overcharge is maxed. So 16% spell amp plus the crazy amp from the Spirit too. Storm and Gyro will thrive. So Alliance just has to be prepared for the move. As they're sitting around FNG, like they're actually giving FNG a lot of farm priority to get.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Radiant
FNG is like, protect me, boys. You stay up there smoked. I'll continue to farm in this lane. And they go for mind control. They've got the epicenter ready to go straight in onto it. Mind control doesn't stand a chance. There's the jump of Alliance.
You don't get to win.
As they protect their 5-position snap iron. They cover the area for the snap to finish up the solar. I love it.
Now, with these moves, you're closing that net worth gap. Still overall, ILTW holding a strong point at the top.
The Nico Baby catching up.
Yes, closing in on the relic. Very, very close now. No pressure really being brought over to him, so making very good use of the space and control. Alliance's team has been able to keep it their half of the map.
Wonder if Nigma tries to take advantage of the fact that epicenter is down. It is a big chunk of the damage. They know the Wraith King is farming, but they're, looks like they're just content with farming as well too, since they have that IO Gyro farming at a bit of a faster pace. Maybe wants to wait for that big item for the BKB for the Gyro before they really just hammer it through, but it's giving a lot of time for Alliance to get Radiance back up, and then Nico Baby can turn up to the fights himself. And he'll have a Solar Crest behind him as FNG. He's got it finished. 14 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all.
And is there going to be a timing in this game that one of the teams is more necessary for them to play towards? Like when you look at sort of how this game can go on with the cores involved?
I actually do want to see Alliance get a little bit more active. Because
Sure.
it's a Wraith King who, he's great carrying all that, but he is a little alone versus two very hard scaling cores. Storm and Gyro will scale just a little bit harder, especially too because they have these auras and all these buff ups. So if we want to see Alliance hunting a bit more, and they are on the hunt right now with this new Solar.
I'll see who they can catch here from Nigma. There's Nigma on the high ground and heading towards them. They're going to be spotted out here, Alliance, so Alliance won't be able to make the jump.
I feel like, Nigma is just like, they're idly waiting, they're just chilling, right? Because I think if they get the Aghanims on the ET, they get this timing on the Gyro with BKB, it's going to be a pretty tough thing for Alliance to just battle into. Like, these BKBs are going to be very detrimental to the side of Alliance. They're kind of all magical, besides that Wraith King. And even then, like, he's a Radiant, so he is quite a bit of magical himself, too. So the ET with his Ags is pretty much a BKB, and the Storm and the Gyro are both getting BKB. So it does feel like that timing might get a bit scary for Alliance.
Yeah, we're seeing Alliance, they are trying to find something. They're making the moves.
They are.
Nigma's just not really leaving the opportunity open there for Alliance to get the jump on them. So absolutely, Alliance definitely going to be feeling that the heat is on, the pressure is there for them to try and get something going, but it's just proving to be a little too hard to catch Nigma by surprise at this moment in the game as Nigma managed to avoid each of their moves here.
Mouse Radiance is online for Nico Baby, so that's caught up. recently. He's about to have it. So he has a way to protect himself versus that Orchid. Now we might see Alliance just really hunt even harder. But Nigma might just be ready to battle back, as I think
I mean, they are.
that's the BKB done.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy now. Yeah, sure, you've hit the Radiance timing on the Wraith King. IOTW turning up with a BKB in the backup of GH's IO. It's not easy for Alliance to run into a 5v5 here.
No, it's all these items coming together at the same time. Yeah, ET Ags is in 300. Max Spirit, he's got his 20 attack speed talent too. All right, let's see if they can actually evade it. Let's see if they can get a successful evasion, because Nigma's kind of just been reading it very nicely.
They just
With the haste.
stack after stack after stack here for IOTW. It's getting insanely farmed, and Mind Control's out just in time before Nico Baby finds him hidden in the trees.
Oh, what a dream pickup. Who's going to get the shawl this game? Nigma gets a shawl versus all this magic damage. That's pretty nice. Okay, they're giving it to Mind Control. And there's the axe. Let the briefcase begin.
All right, but it'll be interesting to see, though, you know, if Nigma, you know, do want to fight with these items that they've got, or if they are sort of content in saying, you know what, let's just keep farming.
Yeah, they might. They might just sit
Let's
back and
see.
chill, honestly. Maybe wait till, I mean, Miracle's getting close to BKB, too. He probably wants that versus this Lion and Snapfire. Once he has BKB, like, these two heroes can't do much of anything unless they get the jump on him. They do have Blinks, though. Hanskin, he has Blink Dagger with Limp, so they have the opportunity to get the jumps. It's just gonna have to... They're gonna have to get those perfect initiations once this best BKB is online.
Sure, yeah, if Limp can get some sort of big multi-hero Burrow Strike, it's going to be off to a great start. Nigma smoking up, but they come in for the low ground. Miracle's going to jump in straight away, but Limp's in with the counterplay. Comes in with a two-man Burrow Strike. Continues to back off, though. Alliance, they don't want to fight here. Get the catch, though, to stop onto the two. Miracle zipping it over towards S4. Miracle getting over, but he zips off to the safety of the side. And Limp, he's going to be the first to fall as ILTW and Mind Control come in with the magic immunity. They run down the Sand King, and now without their mid, Alliance hasn't really got a fight to take anymore. They've got to back off. Miracle, he's not going to let them. Straight in, over the mid lane, straight over towards Hans King, catches another. As Alliance, they've got it. I mean, S4's got to be careful. If Miracle gets enough mana, he may go for more here. S4.
Mind Control's ready to go, too.
Yeah, S4's running back into them. This is pretty bold of him. As Nigma's going to be very ready to fight. As S4, he's also dead on top of it all. Feels like a little bit of an unnecessary loss there at the end of that fight. As S4 didn't, he could have left.
He pulled them away from the tower, though, at the very least.
I guess.
But yeah,
the tower's still going down.
They're still going to be able to take it down. So yeah, a bit of an unnecessary death there maybe at the end as Nigma, they just show up with all five. Mind Control just puts the Spirit on the back lines and the supports, and they can't blink. He's too scared. Hanskin, they have perfect vision of where the Lion is, so then Miracle has freedom to be able to jump in. They got him low. They did get Miracle a bit low, but yeah, we're going to see some problems definitely coming in if this is all this magic.
It's just so hard, yeah, with Nigma's itemization. For Alliance to find an opening to get the fights, they've got to find the pickoffs. They've got to somehow make a move, catch Nigma when they least expect it. Because in these full team fights, yeah, as long as Nigma can press the BKBs, Alliance are going to have a tough time in the battles.
And Nigma, they smoke again. Second smoke in the last like minute and a half. They're ready. They're ready for it to come to them.
Here we go, Limp.
Got the ward.
With the jump, Nico Baby's going to lead it straight away onto RTW. They've got a forward burst, they've got enough to take him down. RTW getting low, they'll take him out. They bring down the gyrocopter, but now Miracle is ready to turn. Looks over towards FNG, they'll take two down in response, but GH will also fall. S4 with the chakram, finishes off Kuroki. Now Miracle is going to look towards S4 because he's got the burst to take down Miracle. Miracle still up on the cliff, he's run out of mana. Miracle at S4, he's got him with the chakram, running him down. Miracle
Control.
Always trying to duke it out. He might have to deny himself to Roche here, or else he's got enough mana left. He's actually going to be able to duke S4, and he's getting away here. Has S4 got anything else to catch this? Oh, the chain a little short there.
That's right.
Over here now. It's a good chain. And they have. He tries his best to run Miracle, but Alliance this time round, they're able to chase them out, get the kills, and all off to just an excellent start. Everything thrown down onto ILTW. They are able to burst the gyro before the fight begins.
They have everything together at the same time. The triple blinks.
Oh, they go for more here.
Mind Control.
He steps up to the wave, but Limp straight in with the Burrow Strike. The Mortimer's kisses are coming down. Mind Control is going to go down as well. Alliance.
Nice.
I mean, this is exactly what they have to do. They can't pass up on any of these opportunities, these little slip-ups that Nigma give them. And they're not. Alliance hitting back hard.
And that was without Finger, too. They'd used it in the last fight previously, so they actually bursted him just because the triple blinks. The Ring King is actually able to get on top of his blink dagger, get the follow-up, and maybe more.
Should be alright, but here's the fact. Goro's got back up, RTW and GH turn up. Now's the time for Alliance to start backing away.
Miracle's jumping far.
He's able to grab hit. He's going to turn over towards S4. See if they've got enough damage with the 4 of them. S4, another timber chain, he's out. The impetus, oh, it's enough damage. Kuro gets it for the distance, but there's the counterplay from Alive. They jump in, they've got the stuns on the Miracle. As they bring down the Storm. See if Limp can get his way out of this. As they've got the detection down, Limp will die for his efforts. So a trade between the mids at the end of it all.
Miracle respawns and just dies immediately, though. That can't feel good for the Storm, as you said. Lots of stuns that he does have to watch out for, and that blink definitely an excellent purchase from Nico, baby. It's gotten him some pretty big kills. Now they will lose that mid tower, though. It's Nigma.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
You have 2 kills,
RTW.
so they are looking for more.
See what he can find around here. Heading into the triangle. Alliance is away. Alliance, it's sort of the lack of the 2 beefy heroes, the Timbersaw and the Sand King. Not quite ready to jump, but you can bet as soon as they're back in the game, Limp and S4 will be ready to go. Now having a mech finished on GH.
Mech's gonna, that's gonna make things a little bit more complicated. They have, I actually thought in the last fight, I was gonna say it too, like they have to get on top of GH so he doesn't get all these heals off, but they actually had enough damage. Now, this might be the difference. They also have the regen in the bottle, so if they don't focus onto GH, things could be pretty disastrous. I mean, they've been doing a great job, Alliance, of focusing on the targets that they need to.
Yeah. If they don't manage to sort of eliminate or get the jar out of the fight at the start, you know, it's just one of those cases. If RTW can press his spells, get the flat cannon hits out, it's just so much damage. Alliance have got to somehow make the jump onto him.
Oh, interesting. Okay, my control's actually got a blink queued up, but I was wondering if he just goes for the shard, because it's kind of like the same things that you can do, get on top of it and apply your
that's true, actually.
armor. But it's a different approach. This is what people used to do before the shard was introduced, and you know, you can still do kind of similar tricks, and you can blink onto your spirit, instantly get the damage.
Yeah,
I think he might just still go with the shard, but
well, we'll see. But you're right. The blink gives you more options and allows for sort of more mind games, whereas the shard's going to be a bit more telegraphed exactly where you're heading.
yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see which way he wants to go. Might depend on the next fight. See ya. That's one way to find out who's on the high ground.
I like this ward too. Deep ward placed by Alliance to kind of just cover the whole area. It's tough to be able to claim these triangles too, and especially when you're like versus like IO Gyro and ET. That's a bit of a tough thing to do, but Alliance did have control of that for some good amount of time. Now the Ion Gyro probably going to swing over, clear over Ancients, but Alliance keeping this game very close, as we have pretty much no doubt. Absolutely. Experience is the same thing. Experience.
Oh, mid. They're going for the jump on LTW. Let's see if they can burst him. He's pretty tanky and he's got the protection of GH. GH taking him out to the side. Now Miracle's going in with the zip. Grabs Nico Baby in. Nico Baby needs help and needs backup. Cooldown coming out. And Nico Baby will fall the once. Silence on to S4. S4 trying to get away, but they've got the control. They've got the damage as well. S4 and Nico Baby getting destroyed on the front lines of the fight.
FNG.
Caught him with the storm.
Kept his channeling of his.
I mean, he did. He was just sort of shooting them back towards. Yeah, he was just letting them go. Maybe his stop key was broken.
I'm not sure.
He just was like, well, I've cast it out. I might as well do the full duration. But yeah, they have it here again. Yeah, quick move onto Nico, but they just couldn't quite save him. With the BKBs popped by Miracle, there's nothing to get this storm off him. And then S4 just not able to chain away in time. We'll see FNG. He turns around, he's like, well, I might as well keep doing it. Sploosh, splash, splish, sploosh.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Oh, look at the pretty orange blobs. Oh no, I'm dead.
It looks like he tried to turn around, but yeah, just didn't stop it or something. But he does die, and now Roche, Miracle, he doesn't just have the BKB, he also has an Aegis to make these dives quite a bit easier. And Nico Baby's still showing a lot of vulnerability. Sure, he's got this good damage, physical, but he's very vulnerable if they can actually take him out.
Yeah, they can burst him.
Quite easy, yeah.
They're going to be out.
Splitter.
Yeah, I mean,
timing is really nice, actually, with the way it works now with Reincarnate. You actually can just drop it right on top and it'll connect.
That's true, actually. Mind control doing the maths in that time and bang on. And yeah, we're just saying, you know, obviously RTW is the gyro with his build up and the backup of GH. It's just so much harder for Alliance to do anything about the gyro at the start of the fight compared to what Nigma have to do in terms of bringing down Nico Baby's Wraith King.
Yeah, their damage on Alliance, it can increase for where the Wraith King, right? The Wraith King damage is going to increase, the Lion damage will increase a little bit, but it's very static for the most part, right? That Sand King and Timber, their damage is going to get released, and then if the heal comes out, their damage is going to be, that's kind of going to be it. So these long duration team fights for Nigma are going to be much better than that for Alliance. Alliance just needs to pop a hero right away and then just steamroll over. As Nigma, they're looking for the hunt, looking for the fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under
See what we
attack.
can get here. Alliance, just the three of them down here. Probably do their best to get out of it. They were Nico Baby
So
away.
close.
West 4. West 4 should be fine. No catch for him. And Hansken, he's chilling. He's still got his
He's
TP.
good.
He'll be out and away looking to rejoin the rest of the gang up top.
They just have to, now it's just baby, I think it's mode babysit Nico Baby. Have to play really close around him until he does finish up his own BKB. As Nigma's on the hunt.
I mean, Miracle's in. He's ready to start off some action here. They're going to bring in RTW as well. They surround Limb. Limb stops to the side of the burrow strike. There's a missile heading his way. They get the finger off on the GA to bring down the Ire, but they've lost Limb. And RTW is still pretty much at full HP. Miracle ready to lead it over towards Nico Baby, but they keep him alive. Protect that reincarnate. With the Glimmer Cape and the Solar, he's out. He's safe.
Nice assassinate. Actually getting GH there almost instantly. They will lose Limp though. But GH, he thought the fight was going to continue. He actually buys back. That could hurt them later on.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
See what more they do with this now. 40 seconds, no Limb.
Radiant's middle tower
Nigma
is
ready
under
to bring the
attack.
push down the mid lane. Alliance unlikely to try and fight without their Sand King.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's middle
No, they need
tower is
all the
under
damage
attack.
they can get to be able to bring down this big gyrocopter. And they're still playing into
Radiant
ages. So it's not a fight that they want to take
structures
by any means. Storm, just clean up afterwards. Level 18 on Storm, level 18 on Gyro. GH also almost level 18. Kind of all the heroes on the side of Nigma are very similar levels as they've been playing together as a unit.
Dire are scanning.
A slight 4K lead now for Nigma, but as we say, it's not an easy game for Alliance to play from behind.
It looks like ILTW actually finishes Mjolnir. There's a lot of little small damage instances this game, right? The Chakram, the Sandstorm, even the Radiance ticks everything. So seems like he just wants to have a little bit more damage because of all that. I saw he had Satana queued up, which would have been obviously incredible to protect him. But
FNG. Oh, he heads up to the high ground, but it's a bit of a bait. Miracle's going to get jumped as soon as he goes for FNG. That's the Aegis God. Alliance do it a second time. LTW getting it forward by GH over towards the side. Nico may be falling quick. He's going to go down once. Lim's going to fall. Lim down for a full minute. As they're going to look to try and take Nico Baby down a second time as he comes back with a second life. He is able to make the jump, or at least get back up to the high ground.
well, that's a gem. I think they just purchased that not too long ago. So the little bit of vision that they do have is going to be taken away. As they relocate right into the middle of everybody. That's how confident Nigma is in their team fight at the moment. It really is so much damage, though. The ET Spirit with these two heroes, with Gyro and Storm, like they evaporate heroes. Limp just looking quite fragile, even though he's built so much like plus armor, which is one of the things you always want to do versus ET. Dragon Scale and Platemare, doesn't matter. The magic damage, it's just overwhelming.
Yeah, at this point, they just don't have nearly enough team fight to match that of Nigma's.
They need the dream situations. They need to get insta-kill. They need to get the full chain.
They're going.
One hero and get numbers.
And they're looking for Kuro. Miracle, he might look to set up for the turnaround here. So moving on to S4. S4 is tanky and he's going to be saved. Another Glimmer Cave usage gets S4 out of there. Going to lay down the kisses, see if they can run down something. Now turn out towards Kuroki. Kuro, he will fall. They've got the burst to take him out. Miracle thinking about going back in, but Lim, he's able to get the jump. He's in with the burst strike on the Miracle. Miracle pops the BKB, thinks about fighting, but decides against it. Little on the mana, so he zips back to safety.
That was a little scary there for the Storm. Miracle playing his hand.
Yeah, good attempt by Alliance to really force something there and get Kuro, but Kore's able to get out very close, yeah. And nearly being able to find that jump onto Miracle and taking him down in time.
But they recovered the gem. That was
They did with that, yeah.
That's a big one. Okay, that's nice.
see what the move's going to be from Nigma next. As those side lane tier 2s most certainly going to be the goal for them here. Go Saber done.
Got that long death out of the way for GH now too.
Mid. They got the chain stun. They got the finger. Oh, they're going to be able to take him. GH tries to get him out in time.
His dead body's there. He got him out, but he died as it
Radiant's
happened.
bottom tower is under attack.
Now they're going to get GH as well. Or maybe not. GH tries to take it across to Kuro. He's not going to live through this. Surely not. They've got the stun. They've got the burst. They take down GH as well. Also able to control Kuro by the looks of it as S4 has the damage, blocking off his escape. Kuro will fall. Alliance finding 3. This time around, getting that jump onto Miracle.
Definitely tip him. They knew his BKB was still on cooldown. Limp with a nice heads-up move, recognizing that with his team.
Yeah.
At a tier 2, and they've got some time.
They do. Yeah, this is a decent window as 3 dead. It's not an easy game for Alliance, but Alliance finding these sort of jumps, punishing Nigma's misplays, and now they're going to look to make the commitment over towards Mind Control. Kuro's going to come in with a buyback. That's got the Spirit buff helping him out. Mind Control trying to run in. He's going to be able to take down Hansken. He turns, gets a few punches in as well onto Nico, baby. RTW's ready to run them down. Alliance, they've got to disengage safely here.
Is under attack.
That's 4.
Still on his 4.
They've got the damage to get him. Missiles in. Well, with Mind Control nearby, they certainly have.
Here I am.
There's Nigma.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, they'll hit back here at Alliance. I mean, Alliance, it seemed like a good jump. They see Mind Control, but it's a hard kill when you're diving in as deep as you were for him in that base. Well, we'll see again this death.
His spirit came back too. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, this was a reload death. But Mind Control, he has the spirit was returning to him as they jumped. So
Yeah.
he was actually hexed, but he was hexed in a BKB. So he was magic immune. They couldn't actually chain stun him or anything. He just walks right past. Plus 528 damage. Easy.
We've got the kisses from FNG trying to push back Nigma. 30 seconds now, S4. He has got buyback if he sees an opportunity to get a team fight going. Limp, ready with a potential epicenter jump.
Satanic now on ILTW. A lot more healing coming into play, even when he's not attacking. Also, that misspell might be as
Nico, baby, he's going to be the one to get jumped. Mind Control's in on him. Already able to take him down to fire. Half HP, Limp's in with the 2-man burst down. They're jumping over on GH. Nico, baby, trying to focus down the aisle. Gets the rate fire blast out. He really wants to kill GH, but Kuro with the body blocks stops him from being able to do so. They've lost Hansken. They'll lose Limp as Miracle commits it over towards the Sand King. Both do have buybacks available. They may need to use them, but Nico Baby's going to go down the once. They're looking to move in Nigma, take him down a second time. They won't quite be able to do so. Nico Baby's able to get back to the fountain. He will live, but they'll have to use 2 buybacks for this Alliance. Can they get any kills out of it? They'll look towards RTW Limp. He's going to jump back in, but he's been silenced. He's up in the air with the ults. Has he got anything else to get him away? He's trying to head back, but the slow's there for Kuro. Might shot him with the punches, but Nigma, they'll step back. Alliance, they put the full 5-man up. Nico Baby tries with the lead in onto Kuro. A lovely 3-man stun lined up there by Hansken and S4. He's trying to get in on the backlines, but it's so much magical damage. S4 just gets beaten down by Mind Control and RTW. And in Mind Control, he's not done yet. He's up to the high ground. See if they can find more out of this. FNG trying to turn up towards Kuro. Nico Baby in for the big hit. They'll be able to bring down Kuro, but look at the speed that Nico Baby falls into the damage of RTW. He's got reincarnate back up, so he's ready for a second round. Mind Control holding back S4 with the stomp of Mind Control. He's ready to jump straight over towards Limp. He's got Burrow Strike up. He's out to the side, but RTW is chasing him down. Have they got any detection? Limp's into the trees in the sandstorm. He's able to get the blink away. Limp will live, but Nico Baby, he's still stuck at the front lines, but he's happily sat next to Miracle. Brings down the storm. That's Miracle and Kuro down for over a minute. Alliance, they're not done with the chase. S4 leading out of the base. See what they can get here. ILTW and GH on the retreat. GH has got a relocate available, but Nico Baby's in with the control. They bring down the IO. GH is out. That's the 3rd dead on Nigma. And S4, he's continuing to run down ILTW, but the BKB and the TP is up. So ILTW makes it away, but Alliance with a ferocious defense.
Oh, and I'm loving the tipping action between Miracle and Limp right now this game. Every time one of them catches the other, they are instantly thrown the tip. And now with this Alliance, they actually set up for a Roche, and it's got the shard. That's gonna be nice if S4 picks it up if he would like to, for that flamethrower, if they want that.
Big fight
coming out with the sustain. Like ILTW is an absolute beast with the Satanic, with all the statuses as to the GH IL behind him. It's still a bit of a tough cookie for them to crack. So this is going to be a fortunate thing that they get.
It's cool. Mind Control off to the side. They're bringing Nico Baby over. They're going to have the burst. They're going to be able to take down Mind Control as well.
Hansken. What a play.
Very, very nicely done here, Alliance. They should have no trouble finishing off this Roshan, which they do need, of course, work from everything. They did have to commit 3 buybacks for that defense. They did still end up losing the mid-rack, so damage still done by Nigma. But Alliance definitely able to show that they can still bring a fight despite being down at the moment.
Still hard fights though, as we know. Miracle in a couple of these two, like, and especially in that last one, he actually just zipped to his death using his whole mana pool. Miracle definitely has to be a little bit more careful. He has 5 deaths now to his name. Still, fights are hard. This gyrocopter is still a tough cookie for them to crack. They're killing almost everybody else, but ILTW is still such a beast.
For sure, and Nigma's going to be sure to bring the action immediately as soon as they're all back up, as they're going to say, you know, you can hold your base with the buybacks. Now you've not got them. You know, is the Aegis and Cheese going to be enough to allow Alliance to do what they just did again?
I don't know if they have this damage for ILTW. Like the physical damage is just not really there. They've got all this magic, but you see how much he's able to just lifesteal through. Nico baby, I think he's realizing that too. I just saw this queued up. He's got the rapier queued.
Oh,
so maybe
yeah.
really feeling that pressure for himself too.
That's what we want to see. With that rapier, he will be able to follow up on the stuns and will have close to the damage required to take down even the tankier targets like ILTW throughout the duration of the stuns, especially if they can get someone else on top of GH. GH's positioning meaning everything here. The relocate saves could come in at huge.
Smoke on smoke action.
So he's going to get the jump.
Kuroki trying to get vision of the fight.
They're trying to,
towards
yeah.
it already.
Nigma's trying to get all the way around to the back lines. They know that Alliance is posturing behind Nico, baby.
Ooh, a courier coming out too.
I don't know. No, they won't want that. They want something a little bigger here. Nico, baby.
They are then.
Nico baby's going to be able to target the stun up onto Kuro. Kiss is already coming in from the side. Nigma are able to get in on this. They're trying to make a run straight over towards FNG, over towards the end of it. Miracle's looking for a target. He's going to be able to find line, but Lim, he was waiting and ready. Makes the jump over towards Miracle. GH is coming out of the heels, but it's not enough. Miracle goes down, but they lose both supports for Alliance. FNG buys back immediately, but Hanskin's out of the game. Nico baby trying to fight back. The jump, Lim, he's in with the bonus strike. The infinite up with the BKB, and the life steals there from ILTW, taking it back up to full HP. Lim's got a run. He's trying to get out of here with the ghost step to Nigma. They'll look over towards S4. FNG back in action. Second life for Nico baby, ready to go as he crits down another, takes out mind control. And GH and RTW, they're coming in with a cleanup. Can they take the rest of them down? Another kill for RTW. S4 trying to get an angle over towards GH, but GH able to dodge the chakra and tethers over towards the wave. RTW pushes back S4 with the rocket barrage. Slim, he's got a missile heading his way. They just can't quite do anything about the jar, and they've managed to take down 3 again, Alliance. But ILTW just still a target that they're having to almost ignore in these fights.
Miracle just gets completely changed up again. GH heals him, but it really is his gyro. They have to make sure that they kill the Elder Titan too, because if they ignore him, the gyro is just going to kill them all because of that aura. So they're focusing the right targets on Alliance. It's just ILTW is too big right now, especially if they can't take out GH.
Full MKB on ILTW for the next fight as well, so... Whereas in that fight, we did see some of the Alliance staying alive as low as they were. Next time round, they're probably going to get pushed over the edge by the damage output of this gyrocopter.
Damage from S4 in that fight was pretty crazy too. His new flamethrower coming into play with all this magic amp. It hurts whenever he's able to stick on these targets without the BKB. And Miracle he does have to be careful. Like, he's really starting to fall behind. Now, time and time again, he's got 6 deaths. It's really, like you said, gyro versus the world. And they are still scaling on Alliance. Storm is not really scaling that much.
Just some excellent patience from Alliance, always making sure, and normally is Limp really getting that initial burrow strike onto Miracle.
Yep. Hanskin was so quick too. Just they were both like, everyone was on page of who got jumped. Like, the communication from Alliance in that fight must have been so good. Because Hanskin gets jumped, like, this is such a chaotic fight for Alliance, but somehow they make the quick call to just like protect the Lion, protect the 2 supports with that Sand King. Some excellent fights coming out from them still.
Oh, I see some insane CS there by ILTW. 679 at 40 minutes, 825 GPM. Pretty crazy indeed as well. We'll see this last fight again. You know, Nigma trying to get that favorable position on the high ground, and does allow them to just keep RTW in a spot where the Alliance are never really able to get the jump on him. And do make the smart moves.
Just so patient. He's
waiting for Miracle.
Chilling, waiting for Miracle, and bam. Yeah, gets it. And Hanskin's Aeon Disc procs at like the perfect time for him to get the chain stun too with FNG as well. It's nice. Very nicely done by Alliance.
Yeah, and if anything, Elias, even though they don't kill the Gyro, able to sort of ease in and out one by one to make sure that ILTW himself never could quite finish off some of these kills. You know, Limp able to kite him out, Nico Baby able to come in with a second life and not quite be able to be found immediately.
No, Limp doing God's work, really. The triple stun there at the end too, being able to clean up mind control. And yeah, it's target priorities, right? They're leaving that Gyro so they can kite him around, taking care of that buff up of the Elder Titan in particular and the Storm. So yeah, just still really good fights from Alliance. Just need to solve the Gyro problem.
For sure. And I just saw there as well, of course, that last fight was actually done with, you know, ITW, he didn't even have a single component that the MKB picked up. So that was a fight where the Gyro was, you know, effectively fighting without 6k gold spent. And now he's got it spent. He did, sure. Now he's not got the boost. Sure.
And he was getting kited already, so maybe this could cause its own problems.
Sure, but yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously, it's not they've got to play smart with like the glimmers and such. You know, these flak hits will catch them from a mile off.
Go, and they still got their gem, right? I think FNG somehow recovered it in the end of everything there, so they will at least be able to have some protection and good control at least with their wards at the moment, as they still do have 3 pretty solid wards out on the map. It's going to give them some good information. While Nigma, they got no wards. They got no info.
Radiant's bottom tower.
ILTW, okay, he dropped his treads, his courier coming. I was like, he left his treads, oh no.
Should potentially have the rapier for the next fight, Nico Baby.
Oh baby. And he did get a Penta edge.
Yeah, that's
nice big damage increase.
And Relic picked up, so he's committed. He's committed. He's not going to worry about any buyback this game. He knows he has to go full in. Get this rapier done.
Timeless Relic up on the Storm Spirit. He's back in. He's losing his cage at the moment. Nigma, forcing reaction.
Radiant's
Look how quick they kill this building too.
I mean, yeah, the pressure's on for Nico Baby to get this item finished up and get back to base. He's about 200 gold short of the rapier. He just needs a camp or so more. And it's going to mean this Rax is probably going to go down without defense. They're waiting until Nico Baby has the rapier. They don't want to try and take any chances without it. So they'll let the bottom Rax go. Nigma able to get another objective. Next time round, though, they'll bring the fight. Rapier done on the Wraith King.
Maybe they can actually focus fire LTW if they throw absolutely everything onto him with a Wraith King with that 2-second cooldown Mortal Strike.
Yeah,
Rapier,
it's gonna hurt.
Maybe they'll have enough this time. They're gonna smoke. S4 also with a new BKB at the ready.
See what? Oh, if they LTW straying a little bit away from the team. He heads over towards this rune. Can they get the jump hands, Ken? He's got the Hex. They know it's a little too far away. They can't follow up anything else onto that. They know that by the time they did, the rest of Nigma would be there to back ILTW up.
They need to do it so perfect if they're going to go for those type play. It needs to be all 5 heroes at the same time beating on the Gyro, and they have to know where the IO is. GH hiding himself on the side.
I mean, they're still looking for this, but now Nigma's a little tighter together. They're right behind ILTW, so it's no longer an easy move to make right now. Nigma's going to expect it if they do.
Miracle has to push out top though, so he will do that. Let's see if Alliance is able to catch anything as they are smoked looking for what they can. Shiva's also finished on Limp, so healing reduction now coming into play.
And they'll show, you know, so that, I mean, Nigma's going to be fully aware of this item done on Nico Baby, so they'll be able to take the extra precautions.
Yeah. And ILTW, he's got his next item finished up. He can actually consume his Aghanims and start to pick something up. Maybe put his treads back in his bag soon, so he can at least have that extra movement speed for the time being till that next big item.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I feel like at this stage he's probably not going to die. He could afford to eat his Aghs and get a rapier himself, right?
Oh, maybe.
Does he need anything else?
The fact that there's no, he could just get Butterfly, and then there's no True Strike.
That's true. There is. Yeah.
So I think that's probably the best if he wants to go.
Yeah, you're right. But Butterfly would be the sensible rapier. That would be the, you know, that's when we're happy to see. But we'll see what route ILTW wants to go in that final slot.
Alliance waiting on the high ground. I mean, they're still for one of these squishies.
Someone's got to make the call. They're going to try. Nico Baby's in. See if they've got enough damage to take down ILTW. Have they got enough for the rapier? They do. They bring down ILTW. Nico Baby ready to charge over towards GH. As S4 and Nico Baby push back the IO. GH will get taken out by S4. Over to the side. Lips it with a jump onto Kuroki. Kuroki, he'll also fall. As Alliance, they make the move. And the rapier pickup is doing it.
And they did it perfect. Just they waited till the perfect opportunity. They waited so long. They waited like 2 minutes to find that opportunity for everyone to get on him. They do it. 3 heroes dead. Scouting out the Roche. We're going to find out in about 5 seconds how long that is. They're going to push their side lanes.
See again, just this initial move. Big crits coming out. 1,700 on the crit there from Nico Baby each time, every few seconds or so. And it's enough. There's nothing they can do to protect ILTW against that jump. And with the gyro gone, it all falls apart there for Nigma.
It's up to mind control now to kind of stall it out. They do still have to be careful, as we didn't see what he could do before. A little bit harder now into Rapier. They're actually going to use one of their buyouts. Miracle, clear the wave. Not going to use the TP.
Okay, Nico Baby did that whole fight with one hand off the keyboard. Very skilled player. 8, 3, and 16. He's doing it. He's keeping it cool, Nico Baby. And he's close to having the upgraded blink as well. Of course, you got a Rapier. You can live this life of luxury where you're not saving for buybacks. You're spending up this money. You're going all in.
Damn right. Level 27 now, too. It's Timeless Relic, you know, on Hanskin. I think this is going to be a pretty big one. Just to that little bit of extra control that they're going to get from this. It's going to be pretty huge every time.
Look at this as well. 30 to 30, 45 minutes in, just a 1k gold difference.
Yep. And ILTW, he's queued up his next item, so it's going to be Lincoln. So he wants to protect himself
playing safe.
so he can get BKB.
All right.
That's a good safe move.
And they,
Oh my god.
Wow. I didn't remember Bambi being that brutal.
Mortal Strike.
Yeah. And that Nigma there, without the captain, you know, what do they do now? You know, they're going to get away. I don't think they're going to do anything once they're a man down.
Storm Force, double damage.
It's scary. It really is. There's all this damage and control that Alliance have shown now. Nigma have to give it the respect. Oh, S4.
Oh, hello, GH.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's going on? There, GH is dead. ILTW's going to put the BKB. Nico Baby's going to come in onto it. Big old splitter comes out, and Nico Baby hasn't got the damage. If the finger helping out, it's not enough. They'll finally take him out. Nico Baby's going to fall once. It doesn't matter. He's got reincarnate, ready to go. Miracle. Ball winding up to the high ground and away. Limb. He's heading back over. Smoked up with the buyback, ready to close back in, and maybe see if Alliance can turn things around. GH is dead for 90 seconds. And ILTW had to buy back for this fight. So now Nigma are in a situation where they're in the worst position when it comes to buybacks.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they still haven't been able to even finish up. Now LTW is like, all right, now he's got to go for his own Rapier.
He has to get that Rapier
coming into play like so hard. Like the Shiva's healing reduction was huge in that last fight. Just that little bit of extra where you can see the Wraith King actually able to stand toe to toe versus the gyro. That's everything, and bam, there it is.
There we go. Right, he's got it done.
MKB, how long did he have MKB for? Not very long, is he?
What did he say? He sold his MKB for it.
Sure did.
All right, I mean, he's not going to have any True Strike against what the Radiance missed. I think he's got a BKB, so he's not caring too much about the evasion.
Another Roche.
It is, Alliance.
Free blessing. For Limp, perhaps.
Who's taking that? It's got to be Limp, right? Or is it? No, Nico Baby. All right.
Grabs it. All right, they want the Wraith.
I like it.
He can save his Rapier then.
Yeah. No, he can. No, he absolutely can. I mean, you said already yourself, right? They don't really have too many stuns, too many TP cancels. The reality of it is, if it is a terrible fight, he's probably going to be able to TP out as the Wraith form, and they might not actually have anything left to stop him from TPing away.
It's definitely
Oh, he's got a DD rune.
He's got a DD.
You better run. You better hide.
S4 nearly having a full hex as well, starting to get some big items on top of it all for Alliance. And Nigma, they're spooked.
They are. They've got to sit on the high ground here. If they get jumped by this Wraith King, they will crumble.
Over here now.
Miracle's just, he's really been having a rough one. Just since all this chain stun, he's died so many times. It's given this great window for Alliance to come back in this game so hard that they're now just quite significantly in the lead, even though they have a 2-racks disadvantage. So now the next thing Alliance does have to watch out for is relocate plays. I think
they're going to get the jump on. He pops the BKB, tries to stand his ground against Nico Baby. Nico Baby coming in with the BKB as well. And the Miracle, he's trying to focus down S4, but S4's able to get the heal off. Back up at full HP. Kuro, he's going to get left outside of the base. They're trying to get him back to safety. A big deep timber kill from S4 comes out as he moves straight up into the base. They jump forward. Microdrone turns everyone's Limp. Limp keeping himself alive with the ult. Going to get out of time. Limp still alive with the impetus. It's Nigma just down to the last 3 to hold this as Nico, baby, he's dual wielding.
Oh my god. And I think they can just keep going. They should know that there's no
There's no
response
buy-
for
they know-
Nigma. They should just be able to go in.
They know there's no buyback on the gyro. No buyback because of the timing. They saw him do it before. They know he's not going to have it for a good amount of time.
They're gonna pause.
Oh.
What's going on here?
Translate. What does that mean?
I don't know. 1 second, maybe?
1 second? Okay, yeah, probably. 1 second. Or maybe 1 minute. We'll see. Maybe 1 hour. Maybe 1 day. Or maybe 1 year. We don't know.
Well, they don't need that much time here. As they've got a big window here now to.
I mean, we'll see this again.
Through. That
What?
damage is just insane. And the relocate actually puts the gyro into a rough position. Miracle can't quite finish off S4. I think that's the biggest thing to see. The splitter comes right after he gets the cheese off, so he's able to full heal, and then they have to just reset. And if GH, we're watching this relocate.
Sure.
He brings ILTW back outside.
All right, we're back in action.
So, we're back.
Miracle's trying to clear out the mid to get all the creeps. He did, right?
They can go through backdoor.
Oh, they do. Oh, goodness, they're on a Microshot. Microshot's got to run. You better stay with the relocate. Miracle in and out again. Trying to slow down the push. They get the range racks. Backdoor protection has kicked in. You're right with this double rapier. That's a lot of damage from the Wraith King. And the creeps, they're coming in. Still going to be a full minute, no gyro for the defense.
S4 starts to burn the bottom tower as well. Glyphs the wave to make sure Miracle can't actually cut.
That's one step right. They've got the jump on Miracle. He miscalculated. He didn't have enough mana to get back home. Miracle's dead.
That's game.
He's got a buyback. They're going to try their best to continue to defend here, but the tier 4s are starting to go down. He gets the jump over towards FNG. FNG, he is going to die. Oh, maybe not. FNG, he's out. He got the blink call. Wait, oh no, sorry, it's the Wraith form. The Wraith form. It doesn't matter though. He's still able to help the team continue to push on. The tier 4s are falling. They're onto the H here. Nico Baby's looking to close the game. Microdrop trying to push him off it, but the damage is too high. Nico Baby will look to pick up more kills on the way. Turns over towards Microdrop. He turns back towards the throne. He gets the game. GG is called as Alliance will take game 1.
And what a beastly call to go for this right here. It pays off. Look at Nico Baby. He's not
he
ready.
knows. He's
how
like,
good he
yeah.
did. He knows how good that choice was. That was a sick game. That was such a good way that they brought it back, because it was looking quite difficult when these racks are being pushed. They're
Hey, easy boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
foolish boy, let it go. Hope to heaven before you're old. Hold your hand out as it rains. Catch the moment before it fades. Take a deep breath, fill your lungs, ask the questions.
Okay, our highlights started 43 minutes in because, to be fair, that's when the real game started. That's when the teams were truly tested on their skill, on their decision making, on being on the same page, yes or no. Brilliant earth splitter there, by the way. But what a game. What an ending to a game as well. Double rapier coming out from Nico, baby. I don't know where to start with this one, T-Gov, Kyle. Normally, you know, you're starting with, oh, the lady stage. But do we want to start
no,
there?
I do think that one time when Miracle aggroed the creeps on that mid wave, securing that first range, that was the start of the end, honestly.
Ah, okay.
No, but I gotta give a lot of props to Alliance. I think that the team fighting in this game was exceptional. I think 38-minute fight for me was like kind of pinnacle of it, how they're kind of baiting out, kiting out. The Wraithing does fall eventually in that fight, but the fact they can even prolong it to that stage, just enabling everyone, Alliance looks scary, and, you know, Nika Baby Wraith King, of course. Get to late game, the guy's got 2 lives. 2 lives!
If he gets Aegis even.
It's true.
It's insane. No, but the dude's an absolute machine on the hero.
Yeah.
And it was very fun to watch.
Yeah, Alliance have been criticized by some analysts for underperforming in crunch time, but they prove that, you know,
But it's
when
game
given
one,
the right
Kyle.
tools,
Kyle, it's game one.
given the right hero archetypes for their 3 core players specifically, I think is a big part of why they've been so successful in this S2, where Limp is playing what effectively becomes the position 3 from mid. Nico Baby's on a hard carry, and then S4 is on something that's able to scale. And I think it's worked so far, right?
Yeah.
DK, Tiny, now we see the Sand King for Limp. Keep him on something with a stun.
Yeah, super good stuns coming out. And Purge wants to talk to you about those too.
I think Shiver stuns are very, very good in later stages of the game, or really all stages of the game, to guarantee kills on important heroes. But it also helps when you're backed up by other allies that can initiate rapidly and get these bursts. Almost every time they jumped in to get these solo kills, they're always losing themselves a line as a result. A Miracle would always counter-initiate. But what's important about this is that they're killing one important hero in compensation, and that all of their cores are really tanky. The Timbersaw was always up in front, so was the Wraith King, so was the Sand King. Sand King's a little bit more of the vulnerability, though, typically. Here's an example where Nigma on the other side get to initiate themselves. They jump on Sand King. If Sand King gets initiated on, he's almost always going to have a bad time. You have to buy a lot of defensive items to make sure that this takes a long time or is less successful. Because you do want to cast multiple rounds of spells. When you are getting those kills on the Nigma side, everything looks fine. But if it's the other way around, if your opponents have stuns and are chain stunning you, it's not feeling very good. And that's part of the reason that things felt so difficult for Nigma. It's because their margin of error is just so much smaller. They can't make too many mistakes, because even with IO in the swing of things, you're eventually going to get picked off somewhere on the map, especially if you get a couple crucial kills on Storm. This fight here was really what opened things up for Alliance, finally getting across the map. They were able to get a bunch of kills. They finally got to go push high ground. And ultimately, Nigma finally gets a kill back, and they get to go approach their opponent's high ground. But that same threat is still there. You have to worry about the chain stuns coming at any moments. So even though they have 5 heroes up, they're constantly terrified that the buyback will come, the chain stuns will come, and they're going to lose an important hero. So stuns win games, especially when you get to this good team fight area. And Alliance played excellent going into the late game, pulled out the stops, and they take the win.
Stuns win games. Who could predict that one? This is the first Sad.
Thank you for that high-level
Thank you.
analysis, T-Gunner. I would say that I want to see Crow and the boys play faster. They said in the interviews
Faster?
they play
They
with
played so
pace.
fast.
They played very
But the
fast.
heroes are limiting. You have a Storm and an ET. I'd rather them have simpler point-and-click disables. I think Alliance had a much easier time actually beginning fights in the mid-game and afterwards. It was always Nigma having to play better to get initiation.
I
and they
thought
have
we'd
their
go in
hands
jokey at the end of this, Shiva, so can I now...
You want to go first? Sure, go
You
first.
can go first if you like.
Okay, well, my point
Go on.
is that they actually, I think they played too fast because they did so well, got those 2 lanes of racks, and then they had nothing. So they played too fast. They kind of whiffed their timings a little bit, but I don't think they played bad. I think Alliance just played good. Now you...
New plan. I just think Alliance played well. They just played around...
That's what I said.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Good job. I just think Alliance played well around the tankiness of their heroes, and I think Nigma, they had the strategy that they have performed so well on. They were able to be, I believe, Liquid with his exact strategy.
Yep.
Or Secret. One of those
Someone.
teams. Yeah, someone. So yeah, I think they played at a very nice pace. It just Alliance adjusted to it well. I don't
was
think you
Secret,
need to
by the
change
way.
it. The game was amazing. Why are
game
we
was
talking about
great.
drafts and stuff?
say-
The game was
Well,
great.
we want to talk about drafts, but more specifically, we want to talk about Game 2 drafts. That's
Hey.
right, and that will happen very, very, very soon.
Spinning round and round till it hurts. Now I'm falling down in reverse. And when you call me out for being young, I don't believe I'm wrong for having fun. And I know when I'm by myself, I can't be anything without you. I wanna dance alone. I wanna dance alone. Now the sun goes down, the feeling grows. Close my eyes and start letting go. Staying up all night with me, my friend. I'm gonna live this life together again. 'Cause I know when I'm by myself, I can't be anything without you. I wanna dance alone. I wanna dance alone.
Away my feeling about you. Trains don't go to the place I'm feeling without you. Days fly by and the more I'm thinking that I don't wanna be alone. And I wait for something new. I wait for something new. Hey, I really want you. I want you again. Hey, I really want you.
Can Game 2 really live up to the expectations that Game 1 has set? Normally, after a performance like that, the second game will always be a little less delivering, but I'm really hoping that it's going to be another bloodbath team fight bonanza like that first game. We got Alliance versus Team Nigma, Upper Division, Western European DPC League. Of course, you're watching DreamLeague Season 15, powered by Intel, because what else would you be doing right now?
Truth.
Right.
Hell of a
Amen.
series.
Preach
And
it.
A lot on the line. We keep repeating it. This is Saturday. We
Yes.
save the prime time match for this day
Yeah,
and this time.
for
slot.
11 p.m. on the Saturday.
I
in
know
Europe.
none of you have anything better to do. It's quarantine.
I'm
You're
having
at
to drink
home.
coffee, guys. I'm not going to go to bed
And
anymore.
keep in mind the stakes. It's not just about getting to the major. It's about how many points do you get from the league.
Yes.
Europe, let's be honest, they shit the bed at the major. Nobody's got points but Secret. Both of these teams, in order to qualify directly to TI, need to be top 2 in this league and quite possibly also top 8, top 6, top 4 at the major. And you could even feel it. Even 2 racks down Alliance, they play for their win condition. They get the Rapier on Nico Baby, and they continue playing to win the game.
Yep.
Me and T were talking.
We were talking some shop.
Lack of evasion on the gyro may have played a role. The Rapier doesn't give True Strike.
Oh, no, it doesn't, Carl.
Indeed, and a Butterfly was lacking on the gyro.
I just love the fact that, you know, obviously it's not last patch, it's been several patches ago. I just love the addition of the blinks. You know, no one really talks
Upgraded
about
blinks?
Of all the 3 different blinks.
Yeah. Like, we never, people never truly talk about them. I just
You
love
want
them.
to have? Oh, hey! You
We
know what you
did-
should do? You should do a soapbox
About
on the blinks.
Oof.
There you go.
Maybe.
Or you make tea and do then a thing.
we
We've
could-
been
there's so
brainstorming
many
segments,
options.
guys. We're good.
Okay, it's just Alliance, you know, they're going back to
Game
the tried and tested.
Ah, man, I would be so afraid. I'm sure that Alliance, like Secret, has been playing a little bit against VP. And let's be real, Virtus Pro are picking Timbersaw whenever it's available. I don't really see a problem with it. And traditionally, if you look at patches where Timber Straw,
Timber straw. It's the
When
new
Timbers-
surprise for the
when
DPC
Timber-
cosmetic. It's a straw.
Timber
themed
No.
straw.
When Timber is strong, going back even to TI.
Alliances turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
An AA from, or Necro from Nigma. I want a actual Timbersaw counter. It doesn't feel like there are too many of them. Another one I preach about is Shadow Fiend. Death Prophet, fallen off the planet. Not sure why. We discussed the Crypt Swarm mana cost being significantly reduced at level 4 from 165 to 125, yet unpicked as a core in most of the games we've seen in the Western European Division. But this is the key phase. A lot of bonus time being spent by Nigma, trying to think. Alliance, I think, probably one of the better teams to prep for, in a sense that they have a diverse hero pool, but they follow the same archetypes, right?
Oh yeah, their draft pretty much, it always feels like S4 +1, you know, support's picked early, Nika Baby kind of gets some type of priority, normally last pick around the area, unless it's like a glaringly obvious, oh, okay, we got to pick Void or Wraith King here, but yeah, they are one of the more understood teams, but again, they play their team fight so well, they can kind of get through drafts being a little bit more predictable.
Yep.
Alliances turn to
it will be the
ban.
Wraith King. Some respect shown to Nico Baby's performance previous game.
Yeah, the key thing here is Nigma, they're just taking away heroes that when you run as 5 at them, these are carries that can survive that initial jump and then turn it back around on you.
Yeah. One hero that is still in the pool that we
10
talked about
seconds
quite a bit today. We haven't seen though. Faces Void.
5 seconds
That hero,
remaining.
I think that's banned.
Nigma has to
yeah,
ban it,
last
yeah.
ban. Yeah.
Especially when you have a hero like Oracle, which is I have to save. Sure, of course, you know, we can't crow anyone because Oracle's in the picture, but with Timbersaw, he's one of the best heroes that gives free vision in regards to I'm walking around the fight. Eventually, Oracle will pop his head out and then bam, Chrono,
Yeah,
he's dead.
it's the damage too. And I think Wraith King sets up for it in the same way, where you land the stun and then there's S4 for a full combo, and it's just a absurd amount of pure damage stacked on top of a Wraith King crit. Troll from Alliance to ban, that makes sense.
What other than the Faceless Void would you ban out here? Because is the Jugger still a problem?
Life Stealer.
Life Stealer or Jugger?
Yeah.
Or Void? I mean, pick your poison at this point.
I'd say Jugger.
Oh, they ban out Slark.
Okay.
Turn to pick.
I guess extra strong against the...
Okay, all right.
Okay, yeah.
Because of course, Void against Timbersaw is very good.
Yeah.
In the dilation.
And this is, in a way, what you ban Slark, because while previously Void was like the counter to Slark, Slark now with the pounce disabling leap has a much better matchup, and this answers the Jug and the Life Stealer. You can't really play either into Void and expect a successful late game.
I will say the concern though for Nigma is they now have a Void and an Oracle that can't really lane into Timbersaw that well.
Worked for Wings. Game 1 or game 2 of the TI finals, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of things have changed, Kyle.
I don't know.
The heroes actually fit. Those heroes are kind of the same.
Student of history.
TI6 was 5 years ago. You old yet?
No. Oh, Jesus.
Many things, but okay. Fundamentally, though, Oracle doesn't do anything to Timber. Maybe level 1 can be tickling.
Void actually
bashes and maybe a javelin build could do something.
Moo has griped about that to me because his
there
words,
we go.
He would have been fine in that lane, but Shadow bashed him twice in a row. Like literally got a hit bash, and he died. Otherwise, you're right, he would probably be just fine. They go for a Nyx.
Wow.
Okay.
Storm pick, perhaps?
I mean, it's always nice. Timber, no disables. Nyx, a whole bunch of disables.
Yeah, this feels just like a drafting thing. You know, like Nigma have taken the Void away from Alliance, and then again, Alliance. I feel like Nigma would happily thrive on picking a Nyx themselves. You're playing into the Timbersaw, you're playing into the Snapfire. This just feels like a block pick, if anything. 2 block picks in a row, and now Nigma just go for the Tusk itself. Like,
yeah, well, hey, this is gonna be the game where I don't want to say we see whether or not this roster shuffle for Kuro and the lads is a good decision, but this is what you've put Miracle on mid for. You have Void as your carry, Centaur off lane. You need damage.
Yeah.
You have overall last pick.
Whew.
A Nyx makes it difficult, but the whole, if you ignore Alliance's heroes,
we're banning him.
What do you think?
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah,
like, I can see some cool Cataclysm.
Some wombo and some combo.
But like that's what I feel like we've been missing.
You know, the nice thing as well about the Nyx pick, it not only blocks Nigma from picking it, but it also, all the heroes you want to pick with a Void are the int boys, you know, the big magic dealers. So it also kind of soft covers from the strategy from Nigma. Yeah, the second phase of this draft has actually been, pretty exciting.
Now Alliance, low on bonus time. Always love a good draft. You know, both around that 30-second mark as we get to the end here.
Yeah, I think when you get below 30 reserve, actually, no, I'm going to meme it. Let's not even try.
Turn to ban.
A PA, okay. A good answer to the Void. You have to be a little cautious. The Maelstrom build, somewhat effective against the PA because the lightning procs don't miss, but it's also a natural MKB buyer. However, before that comes online, PA does enjoy playing against Void.
10 seconds remaining.
A couple of crits, that is the burst. And it does seem to be a bit of what Alliance are going for with this Timber pick, is they have this hard lockdown from the Nyx. Previously, it was Limp on the Sand King, and then a carry hero that with a crit and a Timber Chain combination, it's like 3k damage.
We have had multiple Weathermans now, where Purge has identified that like Normal Corrosion doesn't really help too much against a Vanguard. So we'd like to make, because Nika Baby is a big fan of going Corrosion and fighting.
Every game.
I'd like to see that maybe be changed up, especially into a Vanguard Centaur. Maybe if he buys it before Vanguard, and he has like a good timing to oppression, maybe. But yeah, I'd like to see the PA go a bit more greedy in the game and try and get himself into the game as quick as possible. Looking more towards the jungle than for kills.
Okay, so accelerate his farm versus look for kills.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
Viper, good ban from Alliance. I think Kuro has a good read. Just remove Limp's heroes.
Oh,
no
stuns. All right, this is it. Is Invoker getting banned?
Well, Sand King is also still in the pool. How did we think about that Sand King performance anyway? Because I know you guys weren't really that sold. Obviously, he won the game.
I mean,
he did better than expected.
They laid their stuns beautifully. But yeah, that game was more about the camaraderie of Alliance coming into play and the identifying the win condition when behind, rather than the haha they're drafting this and that. I think it was just kind of in the moment, the beauty of the Dota.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say Invoker. Maybe that's more of a Miracle special, but Alliance's draft deals with that quite well. A Death Prophet you have some serious issues with because there's an Oracle and a Tusk behind it, so double save.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Plus the silence is super strong
We're
against
going for a
like
fan vote here, Carl. The Invoker's a fan vote. Everyone wants to see Miracle Invoker. That's why we're hoping to push it into, you know, Nigma, pick Invoker, pick Invoker. Yeah. But then Viper
we
DP,
think it hard enough.
Exactly.
It's just, I mean, the draft screams for an Invoker.
Chat screams for an Invoker too.
I would love Alliance though.
Okay.
Kyle?
Shadow Fiend. I guess, look, at the end of the day,
the Alliance picks
we
first,
want,
Chief.
we look at the roster change, we think this is so that Miracle can be on the win condition, not support the win condition. So, SF Invoker, TA, not really a Dota hero.
Literally any of the cool mix. And then Alliance go for the Storm stuff. All right. SF looks a bit cooler. Invoker.
I dig an SF. Or the Arcane Boy feels BKB.
Yeah, it vibes.
They did it.
Oh, they did it!
All right.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
This is it.
Already bad. I don't know.
A lot on the line.
This is your entire pride and everything, you know? If you're returned to the mid lane on your Invoker and you lose.
This is what fans of Nigma have been asking for literally years.
Yes. Years.
Please, everyone's seen the YouTube videos. That's how Miracle came to the scene. Crazy plays, level 25 Invoker when that used to be the power spike. It's a tough game for him. It's a tough matchup, but this is why you made the change. This is why he's back on mid.
I just like the fact that game 2, both drafts are so nicely rounded out. They've got a little bit of everything. We aren't seeing any big holes in either draft. It's like, oh, they've got this weakness, they got that weakness. I think, again, if you want to try and look at that, Alliance has maybe the better laning phase in offlane, but so does, you know, the both offlanes are going to go well for both teams. So it is about mid, if anything.
This is, to me, like, as this is the prototype of what's made Kuro and the guys successful. Yes, they have inferior matchups, you could say, but they have the ability to outskill. It's a GH Tusk. It's a Miracle Invoker with the Void to set up. Like, they can make some plays and just straight up win team fights based on raw skill.
Can we just fast forward like half an hour into this game? Like, we don't need to see the laning phase and the Roshan. We want to see the big fight.
I want to see the laning stage. So,
all right.
My word is law here.
All right,
we're gonna see the laning stage, and we're gonna see our commentary team of Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, GVS. Game 2 between Alliance and Nigma. And Fogged, what do you reckon about this? We are indeed getting to see the Invoker come through for Nigma to close things up. Is it going to be a good game for it, or do you think Alliance might be able to walk away with a 2-0?
He just left the game.
He's back.
Okay. They got the combo, right? If they can get to that point, sure.
Yeah.
But I like Alliance's chances. They have Nyx versus Invoker. Like, it's never easy. It's always going to be difficult for the Invoker.
Yes.
Int gain, you have the highest, if not I think it's the second highest int gain. I think Pugna's like 4.8 or 5. Invoker has 4.6. Just Nyx mana burning you in the mid game and stuff like that. It's devastating. We'll see what Miracle can do. He's gonna go, it looks like Quas Wex, at least to start it off here.
Yeah,
so it looks like he wants to be a little bit more active. I think that actually fits because looking at their actual overall control in the games, like Oracle and Tusk is kind of weak overall. As ILTW is dead.
He's very dead.
He went up the hill
on his own.
Accept this honor on behalf of Storms everywhere.
I clearly just didn't expect at all Alliance to be there, but they were. A whole team of them. First blood for Alliance, very easily for him.
All right, FNG, maybe they'll get one back. And they give it to Miracle, so he's got a little bit extra to start with. Tangos, not the first blood, but some extra gold at the least.
No, I mean, as you said, the Nyx Assassin is going to be an issue for Miracle, and they've got a lot of heroes that are going to get in the face of Miracle, right? The PA Storm down the lines. They are heroes that are going to be able to, all 3 cores are going to be able to jump on top of Miracle. So It's not going to be an easy game for his Invoker, and a lot of pressure really on the saves. And of course, both supports that he does have behind in this game, Tusk and Oracle, can offer that sort of protection, which he is definitely going to need when Alliance come hunting for him in the mid game.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, though, I'm looking at this Void, and I'm looking at the Invoker, and we're seeing the specialty, the amazingness. Where else is the damage coming from in that Chrono? If there's no Invoker there,
sure, it's all Miracle.
Like, no damage. It has to be Miracle to do it. So if he does get taken out at the start of the fights, it could go pretty one-sided. Alliance could just dominate it. So we'll see how it all ends up after these lanes, and see how this Timbersaw is able to do. This game, it feels like S4 is going to have.
Oh, look at this mid. As TP over from GH nice and early. They're looking to try and do something about Limp, but they're not going to be able to do so. As, an aggressive TP there. GH just TPing out straight away. Level 1, of course, nothing else to offer to catch Limp. So Limp's able to walk away.
Early. Like, he's done this, I've seen so many times now, just TPing to help out Miracle. Usually it's around like the level 2, and 2 of the times was an IO, but that's, I mean, it's less than, like,
Long may you be remembered.
do need GH up there.
And then down on the bottom lane, RTW, S4, we're seeing any of these cores going to have a tough time down here?
I don't think the cores are at all. I think maybe Kuroki could have some problems if he steps up too far. S4 though, I think this is very free from Timber.
Sure.
Last time he was very zoned. He was versus IO Gyro, heavy damage.
Or Kuro.
A lot of damage coming between these two. Once he just gets him by himself.
He's able to just walk him down a second round of the Impale and he's gone.
And they did get the side pull off. I think they denied 2 of the creeps or so, maybe 1.5. LTW will be able to get that range creep. So LTW should be able to get his farm down here, as long as he does have the Oracle behind him for the most part. There is some harassment that this Timbersaw in Nyx lane can actually do to avoid too, because he does have the Orb of Venom on the Timber.
You see top, GH and Mind Control. They're running down FNG. They're gonna have him here, FNG. Oh, the Salve! It's a little bit of an attempt to stay alive, but Salve will be put to waste as they trap him in the shards.
Stupendous!
And PA still free farming. Nico Baby has the entire creep wave under the tower. Not gonna miss a single one, it looks like. But they pull them all the way out of the lane to be able to go for that kill. And GH again, he's swinging toward mid. At least this looks like to grab a bounty rune this time, but he could look to make moves. He could still be looking to make those pressure plays onto the Storm, since it is the Invoker cost wax. Storm not still 6. They could look to get a kill and enable Miracle and give him an urn charge. That would actually be pretty nice if they can.
Absolutely, yeah. If they can set up, we'll see how quick Alliance will be on TP as if Nigma do try and make a play onto Limp.
Watch FNG where people. This is a note for the 5 positions, guys. Look at him walking to his lane, saving his TP in case anything happens. Very important, because there's nothing that he doesn't need to be back top. Nico Baby's not getting pressured, so saving TP very important as your 5 positions.
The bottom lane, Kuro. The stick charges and it will be fine here this time round, but still having to play very careful on this Oracle as Alliance keep running him out of the lane.
He's securing. LTW is still getting all that secure. So, Kuro is getting hunted. It's going well for the Void.
And CS across the map, I mean, everyone's doing all right. I mean, a little bit of a lead here in the mid. Well, even though he's up on the CS, but Miracle's actually got more denies, so all in all, rather close on the mid lane as well.
Yeah. Mind Control having to jungle, though, is definitely a concern. They've completely ditched the top lane. He actually steals the small camp from his Invoker. Invoker doesn't farm it anyway. He's not like a Storm or a Kunkka or anything like that, so it's not too bad taking it away, but is moved out of the lane for the time being with GH leaving that. So Nico Baby is going to have absolute free farm compared to the Void, who is getting pressured at behind the game.
We're just not meant to be.
You have to feel good if you're Alliance.
For sure. That's just going to give Nico Baby a good path to first quick major item mid lane. Burning the mana of Limp.
And what's FNG up to? Looks like he's just starting to get some wards down, at least a sentry. Just checking if there was one in the area here. Doesn't actually put down his ward. Okay, he's just gonna get a lane ward. I thought he was gonna scout the triangle area to watch in case the Centaur does go back there, but Nope, just gonna get a lane 1 in my control. He'll cut the wave to secure. He doesn't want to die in the lane from the little shredder and that annoying minus armor coming in from the Orb of Corrosion, but he might actually get caught here.
I mean, they're going to try and punish him.
Top tower is under attack.
He's going for the TP out. Oh, no!
No.
Cookie straight over him.
He could have cookied Nico maybe too if they don't.
If they'd been able to coordinate, sure, they only just got vision, so it's very much a case of he may just be about to finish the TP. So FNG, he just goes for it, hoping that maybe the radius would catch him, but ends up just leaping right over him.
And now he's got Vanguard, so now he can actually return to the lane a lot safer, not going to be at risk of dying from the crazy chase from PA and Snapfire. Snapfire is making the move. S4 getting close to level 6 down bottom already. ILTW only level 5. It's going to be a tough tower for Nigma to hold on to. They do not have wave clear on anybody in the draft, actually.
Look at the opener, he's dead. Very nicely done there from the Shadows coming in Alliance.
This tower's dead. Just from that. They have no way to be able to... They can't fight down here, and they can't deep
on mid.
For anything.
It's going for Miracle. Miracle's got backup. GH coming in as well as Kuro. For shards out limp. He's got enough to jump over these shards if he needs to. In fact, he's happy to turn and punch back into GH.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He used the static, and I was like, oh god, he actually used the remnant. He gets it now, but can't actually chase him. He will get the catapult killed though. He walks up to the high ground, so no pressure from Nigma onto the mid tower.
He came back. He did come back down here.
Radiant's bottom tower.
He's going to be fine.
Very lucky to live.
This is not a place for him to be anymore.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
This is going to be problematic for the early game of Nigma. Like, I don't know how they actually stop the pushes when the Timber Saw just starts cruising through with level 4 reactive armor. They're going to have to bring the fight. They're going to have to bring quite a lot of heroes to actually just stop that, because they don't have wave clear. They have to actually just fight to stop those tower pushes.
See what Nigma can catch down here.
They're going to go for him.
See Hansken, can he give any sort of safety here? As they're going fully in onto S4. They'll have the burst. They'll bring down S4. They'll actually get the snowball over towards FNG as well. So Nigma, they make the rotation. They'll get 2 kills for it. Kuro's happy. He's the one to get the last hit on the both of them.
Tag team, always a blessing. Just enough damage to take him out. And now LTW can actually farm the lane a little bit better, as they are able to make that nice aggressive move. Miracle also with this urn, getting a little more active.
Trying to lead in on mid, but Hansken is around. Won't trap him.
Also might be in trouble.
Radiant's middle tower.
He's looking pretty dead. It's Nigma, and they're getting action going. They're getting these kills. Of course, overall, their alliance, they do have their 3 cores at the top, and Nico, baby, this PA has continued to have complete free farm here in the opening 8 minutes. No attention yet to be brought towards this top lane.
No, in this Centaur, sure, he's got Vanguard, but still, the armor is something that's going to be one thing that we look at. Sure, he's got the 6, but with the little Shredder plus Medallion, he's going to be at -11 very quickly, plus the Orb of Corrosion, he's even more. He does have to be quite cautious up here with Stampede on cooldown.
We'll see mid. RCW.
He's making the hit.
At the same time, they make the move around mid lane. Mind control will go down top. We'll see if Nigma's able to do something with this around the mid. As RTW is looking for the setup. As a Chrono, isn't going to really want to use it just for Hansken alone. And actually, Hansken actually juking around the trees as they can't really get a clear angle in onto him. As he's actually going to be able to walk away despite being surrounded pretty much by the 4 members of Nigma.
Oh, that was so nice. S4, he's trying to get an angle to be able to approach back in. He's got the hood, a lot tankier now, and he should be able to stop this tower push. And we'll see what Limp does with his time, as he does see this bounty rune up on the high ground. Doesn't look to want to go into there as Nigma's starting to chase him.
I mean, this is sort of time spent where Nigma's running around the map. RTW was sort of away from hitting the creeps. GH and Miracle, they will get the setup onto FNG. The cold snap, he has no escape. So Nigma, I mean, this active group that they've got roaming around the map is getting these pickoffs. It's not slowing down the cause of Alliance.
No, it's not. And I mean, Timbersaw now has his new home. He's going to take over the mid lane, stop any pushes coming on there. Kuroki, he's getting his levels bottom. And Limp still just continuing to get all this farming.
RTW, he's going to see an opportunity to just jump in, drop the card onto Limp. They haven't got enough damage. Limp's away. He's able to get out of there. And now Alliance taking a turn and try and fight back. Snowball will give some safety for RTW. They pop the Stampede as well to get them out. but they're chasing over the Miracle. As they've got the detection, Dust is out. They're in with the dagger. Miracle, he's popping the stick charges. He's trying to run, and he can't get away from this as they'll kill off Miracle. Nico Baby's able to pick up the kill. He's the one to take it.
And you definitely tip him if you're limp. You know, they've been tipping each other back and forth. The last game, he tornadoed him during the chrono. He literally stopped so much damage going on to the Storm. Like, if he just does EMP and then tornado the last hit,
you're right.
it's a secured kill, but that's a big mistake from Miracle.
Absolutely. If RTW is able to get one more hit in, that's all that was needed. That was a guaranteed kill, but it wasn't the case. And Alliance able to turn it around and end the whole scenario with them being the ones to take down the enemy mid laner.
And Chronosphere has a very long cooldown. It's got 100 seconds left on it. It's going to be tough for them to make moves, but they're going to continue. S4,
Radiant's
going to poke
middle
him.
tower is under attack.
Starting to hurt.
He's got enough damage. Tornado. He's going to be okay. Stick charge and a Timber Chain out. He is away. Well, that's going to continue to be the case for most of this early game, it feels like. This is definitely one of those games that at this point, 11 minutes in, damage to kill the Timber, it's going to be hard to find it. They're going to have to throw every single ability they have in the book on him.
Yeah, they're going to need the best. And Miracle is at least close to that. So that will at least open up the opportunities, because without that, I mean, their damage is really going to be limited quite a lot across the board from Nigma, just with the way that they have set themselves up and the way this early game has gone. Hanskin,
Scanning things out.
he sees Miracle.
He's going to set up on this. Gets the hit, gets the stun. They're in as well. The kiss is coming in from the side. Miracle's dead. Another move where Alliance are able to deal with the Invoker, and Limpy's looking for more. Sets up straight away over towards GH. He's giving some respect to the position of Mind Control, but S4's ready to cut him with the Chakram, slowing down Mind Control. They can continue to chase onto this. S4 keep playing around with Mind Control. Mind Control is very beefy with the Vanguard and the Cloak. He'll be fine, but again,
Space. Look at the PA, like Miko Baby.
I mean, this
is going to have Deso finished up. The Void is starting to really fall behind.
This is going to be hard. I mean, Nico Baby does not rely on any sort of long cooldowns at all to be highly destructive in these fights. As you say, you know, for RTW, it's all about the Chronos.
Yep. And it's a good overall matchup for the PA.
It's a good game.
Versus a Void. Like, sure, your maelstrom and stuff will be annoying when those procs will come out, because of that True Strike it does give when the procs do happen, but besides that, like, damage is going to be pretty limited for him.
And Miracle's got to be a little more careful. Last 2 times, dying 2 times in a row. He has got backup to keep him safe, but if he ends up being too far forward, as we said off the draft, Alliance have so many ways to jump this Invoker and catch him by surprise.
And it's always going to be hard. Like, playing into Nyx is just always going to make the game naturally more difficult for the Invoker. You're just always going to get caught. You're so fragile if you do get jumped up. He's got Vessel. He needs to get a charge now for them to have any chances for them to kill that Timber if he's not completely alone. Because S4 just keeps tanking up more and more. And because of that, like, PA and Storm just free farming during all this. It feels really good if you're an Alliance fan. As Mind Control, he's got Blink. Okay, let's see what Nigma's able to do with this. Blink, they've got the Spirit Vessel, Chronos back up. This is their time to strike.
There we have it. Time round. RTW is going to be hoping there's no tornadoes coming in on his Chrono this time.
Yeah.
It's not the combo.
He's scouting the whole area, getting a ward down to protect his Storm, because Limpy's playing pretty far up in a pretty dangerous position, what normally would be. But because of Hanskin swooping over, getting ward, not as dangerous, and they're actually going to avoid the entire smoke of
they're not finding anything down here.
Good read of the map from Alliance, playing on this whole left side together around that Nyx assassin, which gave him info. And that's going to be pretty much the Orchid down now for Limp. So he's going to be able to pick and choose the targets he goes for. And all of them are quite susceptible to this, except for the Centaur.
I mean, Limp and Nico, baby, are just... I mean, why not? They've got the minus armor. I mean, Nigma's not going to expect this at all. This is one of those timings that they're just not going to be ready for. Alliance, they're half HP.
And I would see FNG doing a little bit more maximizing with this Strider. He's burning the whole charges rather than staggering that minus armor. So it makes it a little bit slower, but they're still going to get away with it.
It's going to be so quick. They're smoking up again, Nigma, to try and make it over here. See, just try and find out what Alliance is doing. It's not going to be... Oh my God. If that hit and it was a bash, he was absolutely dead. Living on the edge there, Nico.
It's definitely a little scary there as the Orchid comes.
It's calculated. He was like, well, if we run the calculations, this will be a miss.
It actually didn't bash like 7 hits in a row.
Yeah, it was coming up.
He got bashed. It was close. This is a huge spike now for Alliance. They're going to feel really strong in these next few fights. Just have to watch out for that mind control blink dagger. But there's still, like we said, no vessel charges still for Miracle. Hasn't found a kill yet since he's picked it up.
I mean, yeah, they're looking for action, Nigma. Really want it. So Alliance just not being caught out.
No, it's like they don't want to go for S4 until they have that vessel charge either, because they'll just get turned on. All of Alliance is waiting at the wings if they do go on this Timber Saw. FNG ready with kisses. He's going to get a ward down too to get some.
They're going to try for the jump on S4. Lips him the catch, they zip straight away over the back line. Stampy's pot Nigma. They're having to run. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. They're having to get back, but the kisses, they continue to get laid down on the GH. Nico Baby jumps in, takes down GH. They're going to be able to bring down RTW as well. They're not done yet, Alliance. Limp trying to head up to the high ground. Miracle's away with the Ghost Walk. But you saw it there. As soon as the move was made onto S4, it fell apart so quickly. Limp zips across over to the back lines, and suddenly Nigma, they're having to scatter. They're popping the Stampede, they're having to get out. There's no fight to be had as soon as Alliance knows exactly where they all are.
I mean, they're lucky even too to get out. Just Stampede actually saves like everybody's life. Otherwise, they might lose 3-4 heroes just because of that chase forward. Great bait. Alliance just, they're reading the map so perfectly this game. Just everyone's sitting behind the timber, knowing that they can't actually kill him. They immediately get the jump and a great ward. FNG wards right before the fight starts. He sees everything. That allows Limp to go for that backline instantly.
I see Nico Baby there with a...
Punching for a second. And we just keep watching. Look at Void and Invoker's net worth during all this downtime. You know, they're all about fighting, trying to win a fight to get enabled off of it, but it's just not happening.
Look at this mid. He gets anywhere closer to this side of the lane, he would be in a lot of trouble, Miracle, but he won't. He's away at this point where he's close to the Midas recipe gold.
And you can understand why. He goes for Midas, of course, just once. He needs Exort. He needs to max Exort this game for them to have damage for Cataclysm, so he's going to need a long time of farm for them to have that. As Alliance, they're going to have a huge window in like the next 10+ minutes or so.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nose around. He's getting the catch on Kuro. I mean, Kuro, that's an easy kill.
Evaporated.
He's got, I mean, GH, he comes in for a punch. That's a bit of a cheeky punch. He's going to die for this one. The kiss is coming in as well. Mind Control's going to look to TP out. They've got the damage to take him out. They don't. So Mind Control will manage to get out of there, but yeah, there, GH says he wants to take a fight, but he was not ready to take one.
LTW, the TP top will get the deny. Look at Hanskin.
I mean, they're coming across.
Making the move over. They're all rotating over.
He's got to run.
No LTW TP. He has to book it.
They might catch him behind the tower if he heads straight down the lane.
They see Mind Control instead.
Mind Control's trying to jump onto S4. They're getting the zip in. RTW's got to get out to the side. Gonna turn. Tornadoes down. They've already managed to bring down Kuroki. RTW's just not really seeing an opportunity to get the chrono out, and he knows that even if he does, is he actually going to have the damage? As they're to the side, Disarm will push them back. Limp spends some time waiting on the high ground. Nico Baby's still going. Jumps in onto GH. GH goes down. They'll bring down Nico Baby the once. Can they do it again? They have a chrono ready to go, but they're in with the silence. They make the jump onto RTW. RTW's going to get taken out before he can get the spell off at all. As RTW, Miracle, and maybe even Mind Control, they're dying underneath the tier 3s. As Nico Baby's going to be able to get out alive as well. Heads into the trees, TP's out. They're getting these kills up on the high ground, 18 minutes in, underneath tier 3 towers, and Nigma's not able to punish it.
They're just crunching through this game. ILTW, I don't even know how many times he stop cancels his chrono there. Like 10 times trying to find an opportunity.
I mean, it's hard.
They're playing it so well. The way that they like danced around it, the way that they were split up perfectly too, and it's just a quick move. They see the boy TP top, and the whole entire dynamic, the entire team of Alliance instantly swings over for a battle. They really are understanding how strong they are in the game right now, and Nigma's crumbling quite quickly. This Invoker,
it's hard, yeah.
He still has the Midas queued up. He's probably feeling like he still needs it, but maybe feeling like he just has to rush Ags, because he might not have time in the game to just make that Midas and Ags work out.
It's tough. It is very, very hard.
Very hard.
I mean, you saw, as you said, no, he has the chrono, but he just he can't. He knows if he drops that chrono, there's not going to be any damage. Nobody's going to die.
And then there's 2.5 minutes where he doesn't have chrono for Alliance to just crush the next, like, overall.
So he's got to be so careful and so sure that when he does drop it, they get at least one kill or something out of it.
Yeah, they really don't have the spells to throw in there until Miracle has more levels.
Yeah.
He can Alacrity the Void, he can throw an EMP, but besides that, the rest of the team, it's an Oracle throwing a Purifying Flames in there. That's pretty much it. So it's gonna take time, and Alliance 5k gold lead, pumping out the items.
He's got that
EV on
Midas.
the Solar Crest too. He's got the Midas. on
Needs
the
time.
Invoker.
Needs time
We'll
now.
see.
Get him the tomes as well. You know, all that XP, you've got to get it on Miracle. You've got to get in those levels. Alliance, I mean,
Alliance, though,
they
still
yeah.
looking for the fight.
They can fight whenever they want.
Under attack.
They have
BKB,
no reason to hold back.
PA. Full freedom, mind control.
Oh, and RTW.
Kisses.
They are. They're going to be able to get in straight away. RTW needs help, and he needs it now. They will be able to remove the silence. RTW jumps down to the low ground, but Kuro is out. Nico Baby diving in with the BKB. Turn it over towards GH. And Mike trying to pop the Stampede. GH, he's going to live here. The dagger, not quite enough damage to kill him off. Kuro's fighting back. He knows he has to keep RTW safe, but they're over the stun. False Promise comes out in time as Kuro will be able to protect RTW. They're able to turn around, take down Hansken. And S4, he's on top of the void here. RTW jumps onto the side. It's back up to full HP. Start from Miracle, pushing back Nico Baby. They're moving it onto the PA. RTW jumps up to the high ground. They're focusing down on Nico Baby. The Chrono's out. They catch Nico Baby. They catch S4. They bring down the PA. They turn towards the Timbersaw. Have they got enough damage for him? S4 getting low. The bashes come in. Miracle picks up the triple kill as Nigma will be able to push back Alliance as a clutch buyback from Kuro allows him to save ILTW and gives him that chance, that opportunity to keep fighting and provide that chrono to guarantee 2 big core kills.
It was so close to lifted the long zip to try to get on top of ILTW, but the false promise comes in. ILTW able to reset. Great fight. That's right after Midas is done. Invoker now has spared vessel charges, now has more levels, and perhaps, you know, that early BKB from Nico Baby, it, you know, maybe he did pop it a bit preemptively. As toward the later stages with that buyback, he doesn't have it, and they can actually get on top of it.
Just amazing buyback from Kuro. That doesn't come in. ILTW absolutely dying to the burst there from Alliance. Nigma get a chance to fight back solidly as well. Back in action though, Lip. He's managed to get the jump over towards Miracle. Stun comes down as well. Nico Baby's in with the dagger. They take out Miracle. They take down GH as well. Now the turnover towards mind control. They're able to close the gap with the cookie. Nico Baby's in with the damage. As Alliance, as soon as they get knocked back to the base, they respawn, they get out, and they quickly pick up 3 kills whilst Nigma isn't quite ready for the fight to get brought to them that quickly.
And was that Hanski who first got initiated on, and then he's able to turn it, it looked like, with his heals? That was actually pretty sick by the Nyx Assassin. And without Chrono, yeah, they're feeling very confident to be able to take those fights not around a tower, where they actually have this good vision advantage. There's a tier 2 now claimed for Nico Baby. He's just so rich.
Wow, TW. He's away, he's away. That basher next. Making sure that he gets that jump. I mean, on either the Void or the Invokers, I say, so much pressure this game really on the supports for Nigma. Kuro and GH have to do everything to save the 2 of them. Save RTW, save Miracle.
Alliance, they smoke under vision, so Nigma, they are completely aware of this one at the moment.
Okay. 30 seconds till Chrono. RTW still leading the charge here.
He has to be careful. He does have Kuro behind. Very far behind. Look at Kuro's positioning. It's in the base because he has to watch out for this Orchid.
RTW. Ooh, stuns off the mark there from Hansken.
Okay, it's kisses.
I mean, they're going to fight Kuro. There is straight away GH. He's able to come over with the snowball. It's going to give time for Kuro. Kuro's going to live for now. They're heading straight over towards him. Kuro protecting himself, backing away. They've got the cold snap. The jump onto S4. They're controlling the Timbersaw. Nico Baby's able to get in on Kuro. He's been able to crit down the Oracle. The Oracle falls. Effigy kicks back, but the Chrono's out. Have they got the damage? The meatball's coming down. They bring down S4. They turn over towards Hansken and take a 2. But Nico Baby's cleaning them up 1 by 1. GH tries to come in to keep RTW safe. But as soon as he's back out of the snowball, Limp and Nico Baby just continue to clean up Nigma.
Nico Baby doesn't get caught in the Chrono. He cleans up the backline while it's all going on. They get a nice meteor to kill at least the Nyx Assassin, but Nico Baby coming in strong to clean up those kills.
Yeah, this PA just shredding them. And we see at the start of it all, it was a little bit awkward. They just get the clean vision, that avenue to get straight in onto Kuroki. GH gives them a little bit of time, but now the fight just suddenly in a much more awkward position. And as you said, Nico Baby just able to masterfully move target to target on the back lines. ILTW looks towards the big ones at the front, looks towards S4, who's already very low to guarantee the kill. This PA getting all the space to head target to target.
Yeah, he does waste his BKB though. We see Nico Baby pops it at the end, so at least that for Nigma, it's going to be a little bit shorter at the least, but either way, this PA now up to level 18, just jump, like you said, jumping from target to target. If they're solo crested, if they're little shreddered, they die in 2 or 3 hits, especially now that we have that 450% crit online. And Kuro, his job is so tough. This poor Oracle is just getting focused by this storm, by this PA so hard. Look at this immediate...
He's at the false promise himself. And wander out in the mid lane. Alliance is there ready to jump straight away. Kuro's going to get back up to the high ground. GH is dying outside of the base. RTW is able to jump away, but there's no false promise to protect him. If they get another stun on him, he's going to go down. Counterplay comes in as they push him back with a meatball. Mind controls it over towards Nico Baby falling down low. He's going to go down. Nigma, they turn, they take down the PA, and now with GH snowball that over towards FNG, they're going to be able to catch the snap fire as well. So they can control S4, blocked in by the shards. Buyback coming out from Hanskin in an attempt to get out and save S4, but they're in with the jump. The vessel's down. Another timber chain gets him away, but ILTW is going to continue to try and chase Hanskin. He's going to have a stun to offer to try and hold them back. Burns them out of mind control, but S4 still continue to get control. Mirrored Limb comes in with a big zip of the snowball over from GH. They're in up to S4, they still can't quite kill him. S4 still alive. They aim with the Warrior's Punch. Finally, they'll bring down the timber saw.
Radiant's top tower is under
Alliance doesn't
attack.
respect the high ground. They walk up blindly into
And now
the
Roshan.
meteor combo, and now Roche and the Ags is done. He's got Max Exort. It's all coming together.
It really is. Just a push that was made a little too quickly there by Alliance. Nigma ready and waiting for the turn in a fight where Chrono, it wasn't needed. It wasn't there. RTW's now got it back up. They're going to look for some sort of steal. Hanskin can he come in time? Sit ahead in, but the kill's already been taken. They get the edges on RTW. A lot of damage being done by the Kisses, and Nigma are getting brought down low. Hanskin, can he finish anyone off? He can't. They'll lose the Nyx Assassin. FNG's tried to step forward, but now Nigma's going to look to chase him down. The shards blocking him in. Nico Baby, he's jumping in aggressive, but the Chrono's up. RTW's able to get the do of them as he takes down the Snapfire. They've got the lockdown. The follow-up Moonstone and the snowball straight on the Nico Baby. Nico Baby wants the BKB, jumps over towards Miracle. ITW getting credit, but he's back up to full HP. The bashes come in. Nico Baby jumping to escape, but there's the chase from ITW as Nico Baby falls. S4 and Limb, they've got to run. They're the last two left alive for Alliance. ITW being forced forward here with the Stampede. Limb, he's out of mana. He's running out of options to get away as ITW is able to farm on mind control. Triple kill for ITW. S4, he's bringing mind control and GH down low. The time dilation comes out though. S4, he's not going to have too much more to throw out, and mind control trying to close the gap, but mind control just continuing to tease him. Give RTW the time to bash into S4. S4 with the essence rings, tank enough to get away. Nearly gets the chakram control onto mind control. They can't quite kill S4, but they kill everybody else. 4 of them dying on Alliance. There's Nigma straight out of the Roche pit. Yeah, Alliance, they just throw bodies at them. They try and get a fight going around the timing that Nigma kill off the Roshan. They can't quite do it.
Clutch, cheese, clutch. Chrono coming into play perfectly. Didn't have in those last fights. As Nico Baby, now this third death. And ILTW fully enabled. He's got so much gold now. He's almost got the MKB now to be able to fight versus that PA in most scenarios. So he might not even need the Invoker spell.
That's true.
But we do have them.
Oh, FNG!
Fully at the ready. And FNG is also found.
Time to take the big jump.
Starting to really crumble a little bit here for Alliance. We're seeing just a sort of hero after hero getting lost. Got to sort of regroup, start to bring back some of the coordinated moves they had earlier in this game, they had in game 1. As Nigma really starting to outplay them in these team fights.
Yeah, and the thing is that Kuroki keeps getting jumped, right? Like, they keep getting on this Oracle, but it doesn't matter. They end up having to use so much mana, they end up having to use the majority of that BKB on the PA too in a lot of these instances. And Nigma, as a team overall, have somehow brought this one back.
A solid swing there, you can see 7.5k. Back into the realms of Nigma, having the net worth lead.
And now it's just scary. Like the fact that they can just get chronoed. In 20 seconds, Chrono's going to be back up. If they get like a 2 or 3 hero chrono, the fight's just over instantly. The Cataclysm's going to come in and erase some heroes. And yeah, the fights are just way harder now for Alliance. They still have to do the same type of style where they're jumping these backlines, but into Aegis now for 2 minutes, it's going to give Nigma a lot of time to get this farm and catch back up on all these scores that they've already done. Just get ahead on these scores even.
few hundred gold for that MKB RTW. Pushing onto the tier 2 already. 2 minutes of Aegis to play with. And Alliance almost certainly not going to want to take a fight around this tower. They'll let this one go. So Nigma back on track to taking objectives. As Alliance are now having to be the team that sort of plays on the back foot and wait potentially for Nigma to make some sort of misplay. So what RTW, he's in and he's out. He's ready to play around now with the shard.
Bottom tower is under
He did take the cooldown. He actually took the attack speed. I thought he would because he got the shard, but
Yeah, I think that.
so damn good.
Yeah, I think the attack speed is just more appealing here, I guess, because of that the fact that the only other damage really coming in is the invoker, right? So he knows that there's more emphasis on him to just be able to punch down these heroes and get the damage done in the chrono.
And he's got double save, right? So he should be protected at some point by the Tusker Oracle if they're not straight gone on.
They're going to try and get to the back. Yeah.
Still a minute.
This is... But it is a move that maybe Nigma won't quite expect. Elijah's coming in at this sort of timing.
Dire's bottom
Nigma going to... They've got the high ground here.
On skin, Nico baby. Uh-oh.
Tornado off the mark, but they're still in. He's going to have to put the BKB. GH comes in with the Warriors punch. Nico baby's going to try and get the jump over on Miracle, but a false promise is there for Kuro. Kuro's down. They've caught the 2 cores. They managed to trap the PA, trap the storm, but they got the damage out. TW focusing down Nico baby. He has. Takes down Nico baby. Limp's getting low. Limp's going to use that last bit of mana to get away, and he will do so. Limp actually able to escape. Sunstrike comes down. Will bring him low, but Limp's still living for now. They brought RTW down once. If they can finish up Miracle this time, he's pretty speedy.
Dilation.
Tower is under attack.
That little dilation stops S4 spell from coming back.
They're on to RTW. He's got another time walk. Alliance still continuing to chase. They have 5 versus the 4. Tornado holds back the 2 of them. RTW continue to get focused and run down. Nico baby starting to run out of mana though. The EMP burning him low, so he's not going to have too much more to jump in with. With that said and done, they'll get the rest of them out of there.
Bounty!
And that's Nico baby's buyback without getting him almost anything. Actually, not getting anything. He gets GH, which is pretty much irrelevant. And now his complete buildup is just stopped. And now this Void has surpassed them completely. And a small little thing kind of changes things there. Hanskin whiffs the stun onto Miracle and then allows him to actually survive. He gets Fate's Edict. Hiroki actually covers him. He saves him, even though he's getting blasted by Mortimer Kisses in Chrono.
I mean,
all that magic damage negation.
Just an excellent chrono from ILTW in a very chaotic position, right? You know, Miracle's getting gone on it, and bam, lays it down, trapping both Limp and Nico baby for a good duration.
Yeah. Limp tried to predict it, so he tried to like zip to the side.
They're in on him. They're going to drop him, make sure they have that additional damage to bring him down low. He's trying to get away. He's not going to be able to do so. S4 down and out for a minute.
Alliance has lost their complete footing in the game, especially after that Nico baby buyback. He has to be so careful to not get picked off, and yeah, they lost the entire map control now. As Nigma are able to hit hard even without Chrono in multiple different instances. And now they're just getting so many items. BKB finished on Invoker, so he's safe versus the Nyx. That was a really hard game for Alliance to bring back.
And we'll see so the difference in progression here between RTW and Nico baby. Nico baby, for the most part, he has been holding that lead these last few minutes. Nigma just being able to pick up the action, get RTW into these scenarios where he's just nailing these chrono placements. And
it all started off that high ground, you know, just walking up into that high ground a bit blindly into a Meteor Deafening Blast combo. And then the chain kills just continued to happen as Nigma now just sticking together. They're not giving up any of these kills. Like, the Storm and this Nyx Assassin are not going to find any pickoffs. They're ensuring that they sit behind these big cores.
Definitely calming it down quite a bit here, Alliance.
This dilation's just been so problematic for them too. Is my control?
It's a bit of a tease onto Nico baby, maybe seeing if he can force a BKB out as such. It is Nico baby very scared now. Going to jump back. That's the one wrong move. If Nico baby dies again whilst buyback's on cooldown, it will at least be potentially a set of racks taken away from them.
He's just going to be a full item behind now at this point because of that dieback, or just because of that buyback and not getting anything out of it. Like, he's got the Bastion, which is great. If he had the Satanic, it would feel nice, but even then, ILTW is about to finish up Butterfly soon, so it's problematic for him to get these items out fast enough. Enigma, they're looking for the fight. if they catch the Chrono, it's the same thing. Like Miracle's already got it prepped. He's got the Meteor and the Sunstrike at the ready.
Yeah, they're going to get the jump on S4. Then with the Cataclysm to scout out what's out behind him, and S4 just gets destroyed at the start of the fight. That's the Timber Saw gone. Yeah, they close the gap. Tornado buys time for Nigma to surround the Snapfire. Another kill for Miracle is picked up. And Alliance just
without Chrono.
Yeah,
that's just a stomp and a stampede. That's the beauty of it. And the thing is, they use Cataclysm, but it's an Arcane Rune, so that's going to be back up pretty soon for the Chronosphere if it does come out. Alliance just... They can't make anything. They can't make any move. Anywhere they show on the map, Nigma is at the ready to go for them. And they're not catching anybody anymore. Nigma's not splitting up.
A very tough spot for Alliance to get themselves out of now.
Is under attack.
As Nigma, yeah, ILTW and Miracle, you know, had a bit of a few deaths here and there in the early game, but his performance has risen straight back up to the caliber that Nigma fans would expect from him. As he's having a perfect game. These last few fights, execution, top tier, 12, 5, and 11.
And his supports, they've really saved the day. Like the Tusk, these little snowballs, these little saves from Kuroki's, it really has saved the day, as it was looking quite disastrous for the majority of that early game.
Just full belief in their cause, Nigma, with this sort of lineup. GH and Kuro knowing as long as they can save them and keep mainly Miracle and ILTW alive, these two heroes alone can essentially they can just carry the game straight out. A good Chrono and a combo in the late game from Miracle will set up every team fight for success if Alliance get caught by the jump.
Yeah, now it feels like Alliance now has to do what Nigma needed to do earlier. They need to actually just catch an isolated target and just start with a number advantage somehow. But it's just so tough when they have Kuroki with Blink Dagger, GH with Blink Dagger playing miles away from the team fight.
Butterfly done on ILTW, as you say, you know. Coming in onto the high ground. He's gonna have to back up on the way over, but he's already very, very low. He's gonna dodge some of the Cataclysm. Asphalt actually still alive. Architra's gonna run him down with the Stampede, and they will finally bring him down. GH also going out. He's gonna buy back straight away. They're gonna continue to try and chase on forward Nigma, but Alliance doing a good job of disengaging with their cause. FNG will get left behind in the river. The rest of Alliance are out of there.
Oh, that's good.
Not a bad hit. That was the reveal of the BKB from Miracle that they forced. So they do know now it's down to that 8 seconds.
Oh, it's up.
And
it is.
Timber.
Oh, this is it, yeah. I mean, can they try for any sort of steal? I don't think so. Limp's completely out of mana. He's got to go all the way back to the fountain to refuel.
Too fast.
And yeah, it really is just gone in a matter of seconds. As it's all
taking the
theirs.
taking the blessing. Mind Control has it in his inventory.
He does.
He's just chilling with it.
I surely just want to give it to the Void, don't you?
You might feel like Stampede is value. But yeah, I would argue that the Void one would be nice. The Oracle one is actually sick too. Is he actually gonna give it to him? He's thinking about it.
He takes it himself. All right.
It's gotten buffed.
Okay.
So why not?
And so that reduced out is going to be nice against these heroes, you know, like the PA. That for Nico Baby, it's all about what he can do during the BKB. So if the team stampeded for a good portion of the commitment from Nico Baby with the BKB, the fights are suddenly going to get so much harder. Now, harder than they already are. Yeah.
So that's like pretty much the entire BKB duration.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they get the jump on Miracle, but then the same bullets into the jump. False Promise comes out, Miracle ready to turn. Then with the punch up onto Limp, Cataclysm coming down, Limp sends the ball lightning out to the side. Handskin's falling low, S4's having a run as Hanskin will get nuked down by the Purifying Flames. S4 also to fall as ILTW bashes him out of the game, and ILTW is not done. Jumping up to the high ground, chasing down FNG. There'll be a buyback from Hanskin, but FNG's gone. 2 heroes down on Alliance, no buyback for a minute on both of them.
It's full retreat from Alliance. There's nothing they can do about these big cores now. The Centaur, a bit too tanky. ILTW just leading the charge. He's not invulnerable with this backtrack.
At level 25, he is huge. Alliance, they had a solid early game, but yeah, after that one move, it just fell apart completely. Nigma just took full control, and their lineup just really come together. They seem so comfortable with this sort of setup, these sort of saves around RTW and Miracle, that it's just, you can almost feel it in the last half of this game. Alliance, they just don't know what sort of move to make.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been like what, since like that 20, 26 or so minute mark.
But what can they do?
Stopping the fight. They just can't do anything. Like, Hanskin is scouting the back lines. They're knowing which heroes to jump, but they can't actually finish them off. At this point now, Nigma's just too far. They couldn't let Nigma get to this point in the game. They needed to close it out.
Bottom tower is under attack.
That's the melee rack's gone. Nothing that can be done by Alliance. Hanskin. Oh, he's gonna go for a poke on Nico, baby. Sorry, on RTW.
Yeah, just LTW. He's got most of his mana burned out now.
Oh. No, he's happy to fight. He's got an Aegis, he's got a cheese. He's like, come at me. I'll take you on.
He's shifting that inventory.
Illusion.
He's more than happy. He could probably take them all on right now. He's feeling very strong. Just keeping all the lanes pushed in. 27k lead, refresher orb done now on Miracle. The combos aplenty are ready.
Comes the big boom. Double BKBs as well. He's just so protected as they find Hanskin. They have a sentry in the area. They'll get a free kill. Well, at least we'll get to see a pretty light show, hopefully, as if a big chrono does come down, as Nigma have completely controlled this one now.
We want to see the double cataclysm.
Yeah, let's get it.
We want to see the combos. I mean, Alliance. Oh, the jump gonna take it down once. Oh, they can. I believe that was also the range bash from the dagger there, setting him up to stop him from being able to jump away. So that's the Aegis gone. That's a start for Alliance. Have to jump in on him. Oh, Chrono's down. There's the cataclysm, the double cataclysm coming out. They don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance as Nico Baby and FNG just get blown up by the combo. And there it is. GG is called. We got a bit of double cataclysm to close the game up. As Nigma will take this game too. We are going to a game 3.
Good. I think it's appropriate after this. I think Alliance, they played this, like the first 20 minutes, honestly, like pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Like, just 2 or 3 slip-ups, going into high ground blind.
it started out so well for Alliance. And by the way, see the timing, 25 minutes? If we were to skip the first 30 minutes, T-Gov, we would have missed this amazing fight for Team Nigma.
Plus or minus 5, it's fine, Shiva, it's fine. But yeah, this fight was incredible. I'm sure Kyle, he wants to comment a little bit about that one.
That was where the game shifted. That was the
sure,
magic that we come to expect from
Amen.
this stack.
Mhm.
I was watching community feedback, a lot of low roster change, Kuro's washed up, what kind of TI captain says go on Timbersaw over and over, and then somehow, in a fashion we recall going back all the way to like the TI 7 days, they pull out a win with just superior spell casting. GH looked like a totally different Tusk after that 25-minute fight.
Yeah.
They get the dub.
Yeah, but I gotta say, Alliance, Fog mentioned at the very end of that cast, the first 20 or so minutes, they secured that Roshan with the little shredder. I love the fact that the PA did go for the quick deso, didn't go for a farming item. They played so well.
Yep.
And in that first highlight, you make one mistake going high ground. It's not even a
It was
yeah.
a deafening blast,
Okay,
interrupting
yeah.
a timber chain.
Okay, new word. You make one aggressive play into a very prepared Nigma. Bam. Game changes. And
why is that a new word?
To be fair,
I don't know. I meant it's not a mistake. It's
the
like,
fight before that, they had dove base and killed 4, to be fair, with everyone
yeah, for
escaping
sure.
unscathed. So it was really just a solid game of Dota 2. I don't think Alliance should be disappointed by this.
No.
I mean, losing sucks, but they played a solid game of Dota 2. I think Miracle's rush of the vessel slowed his progression down a bit, so everyone's a bit spooked. He's like got no items after starting the game top net worth.
To be fair, I don't mind that though, because I think if he goes like an Exalt build, this team's gonna have so many issues because Exalt Invoker wants to farm a lot more, and the Void is having issues. You deal with Timber, like the Quaswex allows you to play into Timbersaw and the Vessel, but Alliance played around that so beautifully, and they're always setting up. And I think Kuroki died way too many dies in the start, and it gave Alliance this kind of confidence to keep going. And it was that confidence that Nigma eventually played on when we saw that amazing deafening blast at Meteor. It's like, okay, you've now come into our territory. We've died to you a couple times now, too many times, but this time we finally got you, and that's where the Void Invoker, a tried and tested combo, really came into play, and it was so scary to play into.
It was.
I just want to show you guys what happened. Snapfire right click with minus armor means that dagger is a really easy harass. With just little shredder and a simple dagger from Nico Baby that ends up doing about 80 physical damage at the end of the little shredders, they can do some pretty easy harassment towards the centaur. Here we are a little bit later. It comes off cooldown. They're going to do it again here. Little shredder, couple hits. There's the dagger. And now what? Look at these chunks that the FNG is putting out with like a high 40 damage plus the Blightstone and the minus armor. It's a huge amount of damage. You might be thinking, hey, where's GH? Well, he actually messed up the laning stage a little bit here. He did a tag team trade with his enemy support, but he gets late to the stack. Then he TPs mid because he's like, oh, we can get a kill on Storm, which would have been totally possible if he didn't just use tag team. If he still has tag team here, Limp dies in the mid lane. Mid lane is completely different. So as a result of not pulling the creep wave pass and by leaving the lane a little bit too much, Mind Control ends up taking way too much damage from this combo. So what he does instead to recover is he needs to get to Vanguard so that he can get to that glory position where he just doesn't die against PA anymore. He jungles a lot with the Ring of Health, gets zoned out again by FNG. He did get one kill on FNG, which is really well done, but goes and jungles for a bit. And then when it comes around the catapult timing, what he ends up doing is really cool. First of all, he gets this free courier that he finds in the middle of nowhere. Then he goes really deep behind the creep wave. And what's cool about this is because he's very vulnerable to death, look at this. Alliances says, okay, free kill. Everybody go for Centaur. They run towards Centaur. He ends up leaving just a little bit early, juking and teleporting. And doing this gives GH time to pull the full creep wave and a catapult on the tower to do a huge amount of damage considering the lane position they're currently at where PA is ahead. This was a really cool move, I thought. But ultimately what it provides is he eventually gets his Vanguard, he gets to run to lane, and now is finally the point where PA can't very successfully lane, where he just gets to run at PA. So by delaying this Vanguard, it allowed Nico Baby to get a lot of early farm, and they turned this into obvious cool things like early Roshan, which was really interesting. And this is the reason that PA was able to get ahead, despite the current OP-ness that is Vanguard.
Yeah, buy Vanguard in your pubs. It's good. It's time, though. No, you don't have time for another point, Kyle, because Game 3 is actually happening very, very soon. So you know what that means. Get yourself a glass of water. Get ready. More Dota 2 after the break.
5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to ban.
The third and deciding games between
10
Alliance and
seconds
Team
remaining.
Nigma coming your way here at DreamLeague Season 15, powered by Intel. It's upper
5
division
seconds
of the
remaining.
Western European DPC League. And so far, Team Alliance is undefeated in series.
Radiant team
All their
ban.
series have gone 3 games, but they have not lost a third game to the series yet. Will Team Nigma make a dent in their squeaky clean record? Or will Alliance just take this one, just like they did all the other ones, with 2 other ones, by the way?
Well, 2 quick points.
Okay.
First off,
10
most of the
seconds
times
remaining.
when you're working games, you're on team 2-0. This is one of the few times I can
5
honestly say I am
seconds
thrilled
remaining.
to see a game 3. It's late. We just got past midnight. I believe it'll be past 1 a.m. for both the
Alliances
entire
turn to
squad of Nigma and FNG. And we have our decider. And also, how important this decider is. You know, these teams would be tied in the event Kuro and the boys were to take it.
Yeah.
And I feel if they win this game and this series, that game 2 will be a defining
10
moment
seconds
for this
remaining.
stack.
Radiant
It
team
validates the
pick.
roster change. It brings back some of that miracle magic we got so used to seeing years back. But can they get the decisive game 3? Alliance immediately deny Centaur because Timber, whoa, not banned.
Yep.
Whew, going through again.
Wow.
Yeah, but this time the Centaur coming out means that they'll
10
probably
seconds
not
remaining.
see it. I mean, I know we saw a Centaur tried out as support, but I
5
did not
seconds
really
remaining.
like that.
No, you're very right. The Centaur first pick is just we're playing this before, but no, going on to what Kyle said, the fact that Nigma in the second game was able to have that type of victory, and then they've done it, their first ever game with the stack was the same kind of style comeback in secret. They're now
Yeah.
doing it multiple times. It does put a lot of confidence towards Nigma, but then we got to look towards Alliance. In 2 games, they've shown 2 different ways in which they nearly won games, right?
Yeah.
Game 1,
Radiant
it's
team
they're behind 10k, they come back super impressive. Game 2, they have such a commanding lead, but then one big play from Nigma, the game's changed. So yeah, I think both of these teams are playing at a very high caliber.
Ooh,
And I just love like the series meta that kind of comes into play, which is, you know, Void.
yeah.
We've seen it a couple times before, but now
10
Void just
seconds.
rising.
And it's always
rising
in
and
series
rising.
with Alliance.
Yeah.
And once again, it's Nigma
5
on second pick,
seconds
which means you
remaining.
can almost be certain it will be Miracle's hero
Alliances
overall
turn to ban.
final in the draft.
Okay. This is a classic combo with the old Shadow Demon Centaur. It's
Yeah.
good save against the Void.
They tried this
Radiant
as well when
team
they played
ban.
against OG, the first game that they played. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
They also had a Centaur Shadow Demon, I think, also as opener. They did have an ET5. I don't, like their lineup wasn't even that bad or anything. It
But
just didn't work out.
They've run this combo in time. I think season 1 was the main time that they tried running it. But it's the fact
10
that you have
seconds remaining.
Centaur unlocks a lot of ranged heroes to play because it's the classic
5
big offlane that
seconds
is
remaining.
independent. You buy the tanky item, in this case for Centaur it's Vanguard, and your 4 can be anything. You just stop the pool, you can make some stacks, and you open up the
Alliances
game just to be,
turn
you know,
to
a
ban.
nice, good pace.
And the Void matches up against pretty much everything Nico Baby really likes to play, with the exception of Wraith King and Morphling, which I expect we'll see banned out immediately.
Yep. I mean, so far, I
10
think for
seconds
both
remaining.
first 2 games, obviously a lot of back and fight, a lot of fighting,
5
back and
seconds
forth, a lot of
remaining.
fighting. I think the key heroes, key players every time have been the position 1. So yeah, just remove all of Nico Baby's comfort heroes. You already got your ILTW hero for Team Nigma.
Yep.
You'd be in a good spot. That being said, there's a lot of Nico
Radiant
Baby
team
heroes.
Indeed. And
now we start banning them. Wraith
Well,
King was the other option, I think. They're gonna have to ban out.
that's gone right here, and I love the force Kuro to draft something else. Like this guy, he is famous for picking the same thing if he feels like it can beat you. And in this case, Invoker Tusk, you really can't think of heroes that are more synonymous with Miracle and GH.
Out of the 7 games that Team Nigma has played, that's including this series, 5 of those games, GH played Tusk, 2 of them he played IO. That's it.
Yeah. They like to latch on.
I'll have a new hero today.
No, unless, oh yeah, I also banned. Oh wow, new hero for GH.
But I feel like when you have Void as your grounding factor of your draft, your fort, again, it can also be anything. You just want a little bit more damage into the Chrono. Against these type of heroes, I think Willow rise up in prominence because you have movement to be destroyed by the root. You can set up spells on top of the disruptions.
It's a really good shard as well, especially the way we've seen Centaurs build with the early Lotus. You drop a Cursed Crown on them. Even if it's removed, it drops Brambles unavoidably outside of them. So really strong at just providing control. The Stampede was a big issue for Alliance in the previous game. I think that's why they've moved it up to first pick priority, because it just landed so many kills. There was that one key moment that helped land the kill on Limp Storm, where the illusion gets Stampede buff, applies the slow, and that allowed the Void
run on through.
Close.
There's the Wraith King ban, sure. Okay.
Tiny too. You can't forget.
Would almost forget the Limp Tiny.
You'd be surprised, Chief. A lot of people forget.
I mean, there's a reason it was first phase banned. I guess Alliance first phase banned it once as well.
I just like the fact. I love the fact that this pick right now, it will show everything that Nick was trying to plan out. Because like, if it's a ranged 4, expect some melee offlane here. If it's a melee 4, there's gonna be some obnoxious like ranged offlane for mind control.
Keep in mind that Snapfire could also be played by Miracle.
True.
True. I'd hope not. I don't think that's like the flashy game 3 vibes we're going to look for.
I agree, but it is obviously an option.
It is, for sure. It is. I think if they pick a weak mid lane that can be pressured, then maybe.
You just go for the Earth Spirit. You know, no Tusk. What do we take for GH? We just give the man another kill support, right?
They can.
Big fan of it against the Shadow Demon. It's something EG with PPD used to do all the time, because the Magnetize and the Chrono is a lot of extra damage. You have some hard catch so that you don't need to blow the Chrono initially.
But the key thing here is when Alliance has this Centaur. Okay, let's go for a Sand King. Like this Centaur SD, you need to be able to jump back lines, because Centaur's the one initiating, and it's going to be SD +1, always saving that big win condition. This is all this draft opening from Alliance. It's propping up Nika Baby to be, you know, the king of the game.
For sure. And the Sand King's cool because it's in a way it's another ban against Limp's hero pool.
Yeah.
It's open. This could be GH. It could be Miracle mid SK. But you're limiting Limp's options here.
Can he not just go for Davion?
That is
Dragon
it's
Knight.
a pretty sick
Dragon Knight.
Yeah. I don't think you take it third though.
No, I don't think so either. But I don't think Team Nigma is gonna, you know, pick it 4th either way. So why not save it for 4th pick for them? Do you think that for Team Nigma, the Darkseer is still very much on the
definitely
on the cards?
That's a really good choice.
I think the only downside to that is they don't have the final pick in second phase, so they're giving away Alliance one more pick. But yeah, for sure, if Alliance are able to, I guess, pick weaker heroes that identify for being a good Darkseer game, then maybe.
It became a much better Darkseer game.
Yeah, Alliance this game, they have fully accepted to playing out their lanes, accepting a slower chill game, because they're not seeing any pressure from a Void. They're not seeing any big pressure from that Sand King.
Yeah, but I mean,
all right. This is Sand King off lane, Phoenix 4, Snap 5 with a last pick for Miracle. The recipe for Nigma right now is just.
I think Phoenix is off lane here.
Oh, position 4, Sand King 3, Phoenix 4.
Okay.
I guess
it could be either way.
Sand King's technically flexi. Yeah, that's very true. Sand King currently like the flexi boy.
Or Snap 2.
Yeah. and the thing is, you'd love to pick.
You keep trying.
If you remove the Void, you'd love to pick a Juggernaut here, but I'm not sure you can get away with it. And Spectre also just it doesn't feel great against.
Okay, they still go for it.
It's just tough though. You don't have the matchup advantage against a Void. You will die in the Chronosphere. There is an SD for save, and it's also pretty nice for the illusions later on.
They actually have kind of like 3 soft cover, or they have 1 hard cover to Chrono, which is the disruption from SD. They have the Golem from Warlock, and then they have the eventual Stampede plus Pipe from Centaur. So they already have kind of 3 heroes to prop up the Juggernaut, and now they need a hero to tank some spells. They need like the Dragon Knight, that frontline guy, the Kunkka, who can just walk up into the fight and go, yo, waste some spells on me, then we unlock the game.
You've got to figure Nigma are immediately banning DK and Death Prophet, because it's not just the mid-game control, it's the tower pressure. That's what Alliance needs.
That's
now.
true. Yeah, DK I think for sure is, like previously mentioned, is I think a top tier ban.
They have almost this exact same lineup was the game against OG, with the DK obviously there too, with the difference being Warlock instead of Elder Titan. But I do think it's going to be hard for them to get that Dragon Knight out again. It's Limp's comfort zone, and you want to try to get him out of his comfort zone.
The thing is though, like we're talking about DK being this threat, but what happens when DK plays into mid against a Sand King, and now you're playing melee v melee, Sand King's able to get caustic, he's suddenly 2 points caustic, blowing up the wave, DK's not having that free time, like he can't hit the tower. I can see that. It becomes
a tougher game because Phoenix with the Sunray, we've seen just, it's insane amounts of damage. The Snapfire as well, spitting flames, it's just too much magic damage to be completely reliant on a free game for your DK.
I like
Death
the DP
it's the better ban, really, because that's a hero that has an easier time getting an earlier BKB. You could even potentially go for a hood. The Yols is quite effective, and it would be better in lane.
So would you rather go for the predictability of Alliance going for the DK if you don't ban it?
No, I think for Nigma, like because you have this very cute Sand King flex between mid and off lane, you ban out heroes that can potentially be more open in the game and lane against anything.
I disagree. Limp, don't give Limp one of his best heroes, and the one that Alliance
it's both things. We're saying the same thing here. We're just
Oh, don't give them DK, even if you have the tools.
Potentially, I think like the point I'm making is like if there isn't a better ban, then ban DK. But like if there's clearly a better ban that we get to think
Is there a better ban?
I'm currently thinking.
All right, Limp so far, other than the DK and the Tiny, he is and the Storm and the Sand King that we saw this series. He's also played Mars this league so far. Didn't work out as intended.
Mars isn't the same. Like you don't get the tower pressure, and you're too reliant on finding kills around the map.
We did see Nigma respecting that ban, respecting that with a previous game.
Ban out.
They ban out Legion on the side of Alliance. That indicates that they are still expecting an offlaner to get picked.
But the Storm was the ban previous, so they're keeping.
Yeah, they're keeping
it's more about matchups. So the LC against the Jug in lane can also remove any Fatal Bonds, can remove the Soul Catcher, and bodies a Jug in a one-on-one scenario. Really easy blink blade mail target.
But it means that they're not worried about the Darkseer.
I don't think
you can't go for it here.
Playing into Warlock Jug, it doesn't feel that great, but I think you can just spin down the lane. Okay, they banned Lina. Nice ban. Obviously, okay.
Lina is a better ban than
so
DK in this case.
Reasoning would just be right clicks into the Phoenix Egg, and you have wave clear.
Burst for the Void as well, and stronger laner.
We have too focused on the Sand King idea, but there needs to be a hero that counters the egg right now, because there are no egg hitters. You can't rely on your position 4 or 5 to be that guy, unless it's a Mirana type hero. We don't have that. So Alliance right now, what they need to do is a hero that can lane into a potential Sand King mid, can be this egg hitter, because it feels like the story of the second game, which is Nigma might have some potential issues, but it's that eventual big team fight, that big kind of mid to late game pressure where Void, Phoenix, Sand King, these heroes are going to thrive.
But wait, what are we thinking from Miracle? I guess we'll have to wait and see what Alliance go for.
I mean, he could play that Sand King.
Yeah,
sure.
But
he also doesn't know his matchup yet, so he's, Kyle, what did Fear used to tell you? What did Fear tell you?
I agree. All of the points.
You got 3 seconds.
Oh, they have 1 second, 2 seconds.
Caster would be ideal, but I think they just go DK. And indeed they do. It's just safe. You've won 2 consecutive game 3s against top teams in this division.
With the DK.
Stick with the bread and butter until somebody can beat you. And ultimately, Nigma will have damage issues. Void is a low damage carry until much later into the game. If you can deal with the egg, this isn't terrible. Alliance have a lot of strength.
This is the interesting thing, like, we all knew this DK was coming, so now it's the situation where, what if Sand King's mid and there's like a Slardar off lane? There we go. Yeah, I would say just a Slardar off lane.
Yeah, Sand King.
And then you just bully the Juggernaut, you unlock Roshan. And I think the story of this series, even today up a division, it's been carries who are hard carries, but they get given a free Aegis. Because of some Lil Shredder, because of some Solar Crest, because of some Slardar, it unlocks the carry to have a great game.
Both Alliance's cores protect their supports, whereas it feels like Nigma's cores, they're reliant on their supports to deal damage. Alliance cores, you're just helping your strength heroes stay alive. I'm concerned about Nigma being able to maintain DPS, because right now, they need Miracle to just go off. He has to win his lane, as you said, is favored significantly against the DK, but is that enough? How will they kill towers with this draft?
Yeah, it's all about fighting. This is the beauty of this game and how we built up to a game 3, which is it's all about the team fights once again. Like one team has ultimate team fight, one team has structural pressure, but the team that has team fight can do Roshan. So
final point, just about the series as a whole. This is a statement win for Nigma if they can take it, but don't discredit Alliance. If they win this, that makes a 2-1 victory over Liquid, OG, and Nigma.
They're 3-0 if they win this.
That's an insane run.
Yes, and they face Team Secret on the Wednesday. But if they I would almost say if they 3-0 at the start of this season, they're looking like a lock for top seed because they should, on paper, not lose against anybody else.
But Crow and the boys want to stop them. And
we got a game 3 first, guys. We got a game 3. We've got to get through this game first before we talk about these narratives.
That's true. That is true. The most important thing that I heard from the guys was it's going to come down to these team fights.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we love that. And I know 2 guys that love that as well. It's our commentary duo of OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, GVS. The deciding game now between Alliance and Nigma. Fogged, what do you make up of these final drafts that we're seeing from the teams? Are you seeing a sort of upper hand for one of the sides coming out with these lineups, or do you think we're going to get a close one?
It's 2 very different styles, right? One team is just looking for constant battles. Other team is just looking to take the win, take the objectives, rather than taking any actual head-on fights. They just want to be able to get that high tempo and keep pushing it and playing around those cooldowns, just playing fast. And they can do that. I think Nigma is very reliant on cooldowns, and it's actually kind of funny, right? Invoker gets, they first 2 Void, Invoker gets banned in the 3rd, and then they pick 4 team fighters. Since they don't have the Invoker, so overdoing it this time even.
And what's happening there? We're playing on, but they're down in player. Miracle's not connected.
It's the same thing last time.
Oh, he is. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe something's up with his the initial start to the game. But
yeah, they knew he was coming in. They were just microing whilst he was DC. But yeah, let's see. I mean, I do feel that this is not an easy game for a Juggernaut. Yeah, you got the Bash Bros, right? You got this Void, this Slardar. And I think this Slardar pick makes up for a lot of the things that they're missing. You know, you can't underestimate just the ability for MicroStrategy just to amp up someone in the chrono. And then suddenly the Void's got that kill potential a lot sooner than he would. You know, suddenly he's taking you down an item before he would usually need to do so.
They just have so many things to throw in this chrono. Like if this fight kicks off or something and they're pushing on Alliance and Nigma does have these 6s, there's just so many things they have to be wary of. Snapfire, Mortimer kisses from a mile away, a Phoenix coming in. They at least do have the ways to kill the egg, right? That jug, that's the big reason they went for it. And hey, we'll see if it does all end up working out. Because Alliance, I think they want to be trying to get ahead and just staying ahead, just keeping this pressure going. They can't really let up. And we'll see how the lanes end up going. I'm really curious to see how Slardar and the Snapfire will do top versus the Jug and the Warlock, because last time I saw Slardar versus Jug, especially with the Snapfire behind, he actually took over the entire game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think that this is really going to be a test for Alliance, I think. This is a very scary lineup from Nigma. If they can get anywhere close to the level of the chronos that RTW was able to pull out in game 2, the team fights are just going to be over. Alliance are going to stand a very little chance. They can't afford to make the mistakes that they did last game if they get ahead of Alliance.
Positioning will be absolutely crucial. They get a disruption bottom onto GH and eat quite a significant amount of damage here. But yeah, we have to watch positioning, Hanskin and the Warlock. The last thing that they do have is excellent counter initiation, right? Like the chrono does come out, if FNG's in a good spot, if Hanskin's not caught in it either, they can turn a lot of the tides of these fights too, with a quick save or a quick golem just to reset everything. Yeah,
the disruption saves are going to be everything. Without those, pretty much in those big game team fights, Core's going to die inside of the chrono. So
okay. Hanskin will get himself a nice little courier kill, pulling GH completely out of the lane, which means Centaur in a 1v1 versus the Void. Feels pretty good for the Centaur with the Bracer.
Denied.
We'll see so far. The first wave, nothing too crazy occurring.
Yeah, checking a mid wave too, that Sand King versus melee matchup. Limpy does have that crazy regen as a DK, that will be a little bit easier, but if he does to make a couple of missteps there, that cost it can add up. Miracle's even holding the skill point, deciding if he does want to put a secondary.
Yeah, and I think having the Warlock top definitely solves some of the issues the Jug will face in this matchup against those two. You know, it is a lot of damage, but having that super strong sustain in the lane is going to get the confidence for Nico Baby to be able to get the farm against the two of them.
And they are just going to play farm. I think the last time when I did see that Slardar do so well versus the Jug, it was actually a kill lane that they were going for. It was Grimstroke Jug. They tried to kill the Slardar. They messed up once or twice, and it snowballed out of control. This one, the Warlock's just going to sustain. Jug's going to just go for free farm. So I think we will probably see a different story as Kroki does get a courier snipe, but FNG does get the lane pulled back a little bit here. But Mind Control looks like he's going to secure the last hit on that Centaur with the Bash primed. Easy.
Something. Like just not meant to be.
Kuro just trying to play around with FNG, but they are getting space for Nico Baby. Nico Baby again, kind of like what we saw in game 2. Obviously, Nico Baby had a phenomenal start, and the PA wasn't really pressured at all in the early game.
Yep, Mind Control does have to be a bit cautious of his position
bottom lane.
too. Sure, there's no stun, but
GH and Hansken, he sees GH as low as he is, but GH with the spirits, and RTW jumping in to claim the kill. They'll get it. First blood for RTW on the safe lane void.
they were playing their own mini game down bottom actually the entire 3 minutes. GH and Hansken just battling it out between the two of them, but yeah, ILTW. Easy swoop for a first blood. Dream contribution from a carry.
Top lane in a great place for Mind Control. He's going to have it underneath the tower. Easy farm for him to be had.
Look at Miracle. He actually pulls the mid wave to his neutrals and then tries to sandstorm it, but the creeps ignore him because of the sandstorm. Actually misses a couple last hits. Trying to maximize.
Like just not meant to be.
I want to say, is this the sort of game where Limp is going to be going for that sort of rush blink so it can be the initiation in these team fights, or what? Yeah, you just do this every time.
Yep, feels really good, and they need it. You know, they don't really have the craziest amount of lockdown in their draft. It's Centaur and DK. They have to be getting blink daggers to get those initiations, or counter initiations, of course. Miracle will go for a stack.
I'll take your
Did he actually get the timing? He did not get the timing. It looks like he hadn't.
I want to see this again on the replay. A lovely find there. The dream catch there for RTW.
Now GH though, he may have stepped up too far in the actual game. Does just get disrupted into a quick stun combo.
Alliance having a hit back on the bottom lane.
Yeah, Limp. Although you are in a melee versus melee, DK seems to just fare quite well anyway.
Not for sure. I think definitely could be a little bit of the Limp factor in that, though. You know, it is. Yeah, Limp DK is quite a step above a lot of other mids DKs because of how much Limp has played him and pulled it out on these sort of high-stake games.
Whoa! Limp did die to a level 1 Viper one time, but.
Oh yeah, let's not remember that was recently as well, wasn't it? Well, yeah, everybody has an off day, you know.
Everyone has a mistake.
Yeah, everyone has one of those days.
Yeah. It happens to all of us. There's Limp, he hits 6. He already has the sentry prepared, so he's going to poke Miracle. Probably force him actually quite far out of the lane. He might get some tower damage, but Miracle, he's trying to stay here. Trying to keep that sandstone, keeping Limp away from tower. S4, he's got Vanguard, so ILTW tickles him now. So he'll be able to continue farming, and ILTW has been slowed down quite a bit.
I'll head towards GH. They've got the setup. I mean, with this, yeah, okay, with the range drop, GH won't be burst. He's still got the dive to hold on to. As well, they chase. Yeah, they're going to stampede in for that. S4 just runs him down. As GH, he's able to get a spirit off, but they get the kill. S4 just charging in for it, not letting any escape happen for GH.
And mid Limp actually has pushed Miracle out, so he's trying to rush kill this catapult so that he can get some hits onto the tower, but Miracle makes it back in time, so he won't actually get any structural damage off that one. But the rune, still gets it.
Oh.
It's bottom.
It's bottom. Miracle. Be able to make it there in time. Heavy damage done into Mind Control. And overall,
all 3 lanes though, Alliance.
It is.
Great, and that's exactly how their draft wants to play. Get ahead, stay ahead, apply that pressure early on. It's Miracle, he'll be able to take out that siege wave, so no tower damage onto mid with the first DK form.
All about this early game for Alliance. I'm interested what sort of build Nico Baby does go for this game. Okay, he's still got the Battle Fury as sort of the one that he wants to go for this game, so It's going to lean more into the farming.
Yeah, that's okay.
Which, I mean, well, okay, RTW wants an easy kill, he'll get it. Chrono's dropped down for Hanskin.
Oh, S4 loses his boots. That's actually pretty huge. A minute and a half, no boots on the center. He just got Vanguard. Can't actually use his lead to get anything extra.
Nico baby.
Nico baby.
He's going to get the heal. Have they got the damage? Oh, not quite. He's going to live. He's going to be fine there. The Shadow Word and the healing ward down. As Nico baby, he'll be able to heal back up to full as he gets away. Only just very, very close there.
You know what he would say? The point in stats saved him. But it was close.
I mean, it was close. It was very, very close.
Radiant's
So
middle
LTW, I
tower
think this is
under
like
attack.
S4 losing boots is pretty huge. Like he can't actually just walk up and just constantly like double-edge spam or like put as much harassment about not having boots since he lost his courier. So LTW will be able to get some nice solid farm for himself, since S4 is actually just gonna go hit some ancients in the meantime.
Something.
It's just going to be interesting to see, you know, how Alliance do decide to play it around. You know, Nico baby obviously wanting to, you know, still, he's going to need a fair bit of time to farm. They're not going to look to rush anything with a jug. You know, when he's going for the Battle Fury first, it's just going to sort of be down to the rest of the four of them to make aggressive moves, take objectives, which could be difficult against Nigma's
I think it
lineup.
could be as
This could be
well.
hard.
Yeah. I don't know if... Because we've seen We've seen a couple of these like Yasha. You just like a Wraith Band into Yasha and you just start battling with your team and just joining all the
We have. We've seen a lot more battle builds from Jugs recently, yeah.
This might hurt. I mean, Miracle already has Blink down, so that, like, it's going to be really hard for Alliance to actually set up onto any of these towers. Like, this Blink Epicenter is going to be problematic. Chronosphere plus a Sunray is going to be problematic. This could get a little bit hard for them to actually pressure these towers.
Well, Limp's making the move up top here. See if they can punish mind control. I've got the catch. And, they've very easily got him, even using the Stampede to make a move at the same time onto GH. It's kills on both lanes here for Alliance.
And S4 now, he can probably take out the majority of this bottom tower with his Retaliate, with his Vanguard. Should be able to, but ILTW is going to start poking. He's got the Javelin, so he actually does damage. But he hurts himself quite a lot too on that top.
I'll take your tribute.
And with that Javelin, 15 seconds, Chrono's going to be back up. To watch themselves down here. ILTW might feel the ability to just drop that ult and guarantee himself a kill if he catches them low.
He's committed. He's bought the Perseverance, so he's 100% going to be going for that Battle Fury, so...
Okay. I mean, I like, you know, if they're able to gear this game up to some sort of late game stuff between the two of them, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's a question if they get there, as indeed RTW's made the move. Has locked down Nico baby. Miracle coming in a little late with the Burrow Strike. And Nico baby's going to try and go for the TP out. They've got a Bastion Crush. They do. Mind Control able to get in. They get the kill. Two of them going down on the top lane as RTW makes the move, gets involved early on the aggressive. That will be the jog. Nico baby out of the lane and without TP, so he's going to have to walk his way back out on the map on respawn.
And at first I was a little bit worried because Miracle didn't like rev up the Epi, but I'm actually glad he did it. Because now if the tower push does come, I think he's going to have Epi wherever that DK does show up, so he will fight back his bottom again.
They've got the setup onto GH. Kuro's going to come in with the TP. He's going to try and turn things around onto S4. He's in with the cookie. Has he got enough damage with the little shredder? He has. He takes down S4. He's got the kisses ready to go. The heal as well coming out. Hansken trying to dodge the kisses the best he can, but the DD's still good to go. Kuro, he takes down the two of them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Which target needs killing?
Like the 5-position snap just comes with the DD and gets these kills. All right, the dream for Kuro.
Oh, we're going to have the Golem drop top. Looking for mind control. And with the help of Limp, they'll have the damage to do so. Mind control doesn't stand a chance against these two with the Elder Dragon form and the Chaotic Offering used to take him down. Bottom lane, Nico baby. He should be able to clean up Kuro. Oh, Cookie off to the side. Has he got the movement to get away? He has.
A worthy fool.
But still showing up and being a bit active, even though he does have Perseverance. Does show up and at least get himself a nice kill.
We'll see this move again from Kuro, just holding the tower. It goes down, but taking both kills for it.
How about they all just instantly tip him? They're just like, whoa, Kuro's getting kills.
They just see him popping off down there on the bottom lane. Kuro having a great time with that one.
That was a funny one. And now Alliance, they have the offering is still alive. Golem. They will try to put some pressure on Miracle, setting up the defense. Sentry is in the crystals.
Oh yeah, nicely done there, very pretty. And they're going to pop the anchor. They've got a Stampede though. one of the oldest counter plays in the book there. You see a big scary supernova, just run away.
They will hold the tower though, and I think that's kind of the main goal from Nigma is it's just stalling the game out. You know, Void's getting space top, his Chronosphere's on cooldown for the next 20 seconds, so
Just that up.
it's huge.
S4, he's gonna go over the hook stomp here. Miracle, he's got the MP, he's ready to get the jump in straight away with the bow truck on S4, but S4 is very tanky, and backup's coming in. They're gonna turn over towards Miracle. Nico Baby's in with the Omni Slash. They'll bring down the Sand King. Miracle will fall. His Alliance, they're still moving up, see if they can get some more out of this. RTW jumps in. He's gonna get immediately Dragon Tail. The kisses are coming out. He has got a Chrono if he sees a chance to get it off, but now it's a little awkward with the Alliance being able to have the time to stun him and back off. Still do have that Chrono. RTW is gonna seize a chance to get on this. They're grouped up pretty tightly. He'll drop the Chrono onto the tree. Does he have the damage? They've used the ult, and they don't. They have to back away. As Mind Control falling low, Alliance running in. Nico Baby trying to charge for him, but the cookie will get him back out to safety. And Alliance, they'll be able to push on onto the mid. I mean, you could see it then, the hesitation of RTW. You kind of knew that most of the spells that they kind of needed to throw into that Chrono had already been used. So there was nothing to follow it up at that point. He tries for it, but just nothing to back him up on that play.
And they went for the Centaur. Like S4, he had a hood. I don't know if they checked to see if he did have one. Maybe they thought he only had like Vanguard and Cloak, but with the hood, pops the active, and he's completely fine when they go that far past it. When they don't have Egg either, like they kind of staggered their spells in a pretty weird manner as Nigma. They will keep the tower alive somehow.
They do defend.
Buy some more time for them, but Alliance still quite happy off of that one.
Not for sure. And now some of the other ults might come back up sooner, but 100 seconds, no Chronosphere. As
and now your Jug has Battle Fury too, so it's all kind of worked out in a way. You have this greed for the Jug will work out. He'll be able to get a good item timing. The next item afterwards will be at a pretty decent shot. So.
No, absolutely, yeah. It's not like they've been able to do anything about Nico Baby getting the space to finish the time at all. Only that one death early on in this game.
And Mind Control, since he's had a bit of a rough one, he's actually gonna, it looks like he's trying to rush BKB, which it kind of puts Miracle position on him to always get the initiations to start out the fights. They do have a lot of different ways to like counter-initiate and all that too, but Slardar not having an early blink, that's gonna cause some problems for just constant aggression.
Oh, apologies for this pause, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be able to get the action underway as it sits so far. 13 minutes in, 6-7. Alliance with a slight gold lead.
And Nigma with 0 ultis up at the moment. Alliance, how long do we have left? Dragon Form still has a couple seconds left. There's an Arcane Rune for the next Dragon Form. They have Chaotic Offering up as well too, so still likely to go for pressuring and taking out that mid tower. They do need to finish it off. And they're ready.
There we go.
So who's got what items now? I haven't gotten to check neutral items because some stuff's been going on. Keen Optic on Hanskin, always a great pickup for Shadow Demon, especially versus Chrono. Extra cast range, he's going to go for Aether Lens to keep even further back. And I saw Fairy Trinket actually on what? It was on the Phoenix, I think. Yeah, GH does have it. So good spell lamp at least for the Phoenix too. And Alliance, yeah, they're going to finish off tower. S4, he's just retaliating it down.
Doesn't look like they're going to send anyone over here. Try for the deny. Won't be able to get it. S4 gets the last touch on it.
Oh, and look at this. Nico Baby, he does at least have a stack at the ready too. So a double for that Battle Fury.
Oh, he's going to be nicely farmed this game, Nico. Sitting at the top, and even though RTW has got the Maelstrom, Jog with the Battle Fury should be able to farm that a little bit faster.
Yep, and Alliance will have overall the better initiations. They already have the Limp Blink Dagger. They're going to have the S4 Blink Dagger soon. So they will have some really solid ones. And it's just going to be Miracle for the most part on the side of Nigma. As we say, you know, Mind Control's going for BKB. Might switch it up still. If he's able to farm at 2,200 gold at any point in the game.
Yeah, Nigma unlikely to look for any action before the Chrono's back online. And yeah, I guess with Alliance, with the fact that the Nico Baby is having such a good start, they're also maybe not feeling in too much of a rush to get that much done themselves if they're confident enough in Nico Baby's ability to carry this game as the Jug later on.
Yeah, they can still play that farm game. They still need to play for the later stages because he has gone for this game, for this build for sure. And we've seen, I mean, honestly, power of Warlock. And as the game does progress, this hero just feels like it gets so
Radiant's
ridiculous.
top tower
The
is
Shadow
under
Word
attack.
Shard, Fatal Bonds overall, just how strong they scale. They will still definitely have shots versus all this heavy team fight. They just have to be sure not to get caught out of position with too many of their cores inside that chrono.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're getting away with a lot of tower pressure here, Alliance.
Look at
Top
the
tier 1.
Radiant's top tower is
Wards
under
have been on
attack.
point this series. I really do want to point that out. There's every single time they've always had coverage of where they are pressuring. So he's going to see them setting up for the defense. They're going to back away as soon as those TP happen. And now they're just going to get more out of the map. Really heads up stuff from FNG.
And
As S4, he's staying in a
Nigma's
bit of a
trying,
risky spot,
yeah.
but he's so tanky and he's about to have Blink.
Can Nigma get the jump with the chrono? All ults ready to go. They really want to try it on S4. Well, they're doing it. And with the... They've got enough.
Not the kiss.
I mean, S4, he's going to get the stampede off, but he will still die. Eggs up on the high ground. Rolls down, but then with the Omni Slash on the mind controller, it's going to be Nigma that loses to another jump. The chrono, the epicenter's in. As they'll find the commitment, ILTW turns over towards Deco, baby. They bring down the Dragon Knight. And now over towards Limp. ILTW chases down Limp, takes him out, double kill. They're not done yet. They're moving over to Hansken and FNG. Hansken holding them back with the disruption, but ILTW is still good to go with the bashes coming in. He'll slowly bring down Hansken as well. Triple kill for the Faceless Void, as now he'll run down FNG. He's looking for another. FNG hiding in the trees, and with the S4 coming back in, they're actually able to turn and take out GH as ILTW. He's already bailed out of this. This time round
For a better time.
Yeah.
Nigma to hit that one, right? They catch S4 as he has Blink Dagger finish that base. They catch him. He's not able to get the Stampede to reset, and ILTW, perfect. Gets the ideal chrono with the follow-up.
Radiant are
Sanking
scanning.
Epicenter. Very nice.
still holding on to the lead, Alliance, but we really are seeing the team fight. These ultimates of Nigma really do have to be
Radiant's
respected
middle
by
tower is
Alliance.
under attack.
And FNG, he got, I think, 4 heroes bound inside with the Chaotic Offering, connecting and instantly stopping the Mortimer kisses, but still, ILTW and Miracle show up right at the end to get some big cleanup. They don't get the tier 1 though. Tier 1 mid is still alive for Alliance, so they do still have that
Dire's
information
bottom
for
tower
themselves
is under
always,
attack.
and easier ways to fight around that mid lane. Chaotic Offering down for 75, and looks like Nigma is still hunting for some type of kill.
The kisses up in a few seconds. So I have that follow-up damage from the backlines.
Time is money.
Radiant's top tower is under
Alliance
attack.
definitely a bit more worried about how they go about their next move. On top of the Battle Fury, Nico baby, getting that S and Y done. And once he does it,
It's scary though, right? Like, cause like all this downtime, Nigma, they just made a big move with all of their ultimates. Now everything is coming back up in Alliance. They haven't actually been able to punish this at all. They don't have Chaotic Offering just yet either. But it's given time now. Chrono's back up in 30. Almost everything is ready for Nigma.
Scanning.
But Alliance continue to try to play around their vision. They still have this ward that was placed earlier on. So perhaps with a little bit more
Radiant's top
information,
tower
they'll have a
is
better
under
shot.
attack.
Especially because S4, he's got Blink. So he's hoping he doesn't get initiated on this time around.
and Alliance know they know that these timings are up. That they are top. They saw
Smoke
RTW.
on
They
smoke.
back up. Yeah, this
Chrono's ready.
it was around that dire ward. I think maybe Alliance caught some of that. RTW already showing himself. They're going to try and commit. Oh, that's not an illusion.
It's an illusion.
Oh, and now the chrono's out. RTW is ready with the turnaround. They caught FNG. FNG and S4 caught on the front as they'll both go down. Enigma, they're ready to try and chase for more. Nico baby goes for the Blade Fury TP out, but Limp's getting slowed. ILTW can see him in the chase. Can he get a hit in before the blink is up? He can't. Limp able to turn the Dragon Tail. Blink out of there. He will escape. But an awkward jump there from Alliance as Limp makes the commitment onto the illusion.
Miracle just baits them so hard with it. Oh my god, I can't believe it. They saw the void too and they don't make the jump, and now they will still have Chaotic Offering up. They don't have DK form up though, and that Roche is going to start going down. Hansken is starting to get the spam though with this Aether Blade.
I mean, can they get the steal? They have got 4 heroes up. S4's up in a few seconds. And already Limp.
Miracle.
He's going to try and get the jump on a Miracle. They're dropping the Golem here as well. Miracle's out with the Boa Strike. Fatal Bonds linking them all. ILTW standing his ground to take down the Golem. tries his best. It will tick down low. Jumping from S4. They're on top of the void. RTW is there any further help from Nico Baby's pushing back Miracle. Miracle continuing to have to just run away from this Juggernaut as Nico Baby chases him down. The breed fires out. Miracle, has he got forward strike in a second? He hasn't. As they'll be able to bring down Miracle. The Sand King's gone. Now Alliance can look themselves potentially to move into the pit.
Radiant's
S4's got
middle
Blink, he
tower
sees
is
Guro.
under attack.
They're in. Underneath the tower, mind control.
Radiant
Gonna help out.
structures
That's what bringing Limp and Nico Baby over as well. They get the jump in over towards it, but mind control gets the cross out. Turns with the bash. S4 popping the stampede to get out of there, but both Miracle and Kuro buying back for this fight. They get the jump. They're on Nico Baby. Disruption comes out. Hands can't able to protect Nico Baby for now. Nico Baby trying to run. He's actually looking to turn. S4's in with the stun, but ILTW moves over the time bomb. Takes down Nico Baby. Miracle will fall. Mind control and ILTW try to work along the back line as they'll move over to Hanskin. Now jumping over towards S4. Limp commits over towards Kuro. It's going to be a dive back on both Kuro and Miracle. ILTW mind control and GH, can they clean up this fight on their own? It doesn't look like they can. They're going to have to back away. They do manage to take down Hanskin and Nico Baby, but a dieback on both of them. Miracle and Kuro out of the game for a full minute.
I can't believe they decided to buy back and fight over there, but Alliance, they reap the rewards as now Limp. He pretty much has a full BKB finished up after all that. S4 continuing to be just almost unkillable. He's just running in and forcing spells onto himself, which is giving Alliance a lot of freedom to just target everyone else. Nico Baby just had it out for Miracle. The Fatal Bonds constantly stopping the Blink Dagger of the poor Sand King. He's able to get that chase initially. Force that buyback.
Oh yeah, and now with that buyback play, Miracle's gold, it's just straight downhill. Yeah,
Yep.
Suddenly this game, it very much for Nigma, it's all about the new man. It's all about ILTW.
Radiant are scanning.
Him and the Phoenix, I think, in particular. Like, GH still very high level on this support Phoenix, up to level 13. So he still is quite a bit above the rest of the squad, even above his Slardar. So that could be an X factor, just that Chrono plus the Phoenix potential. But he has to be very careful, GH. He is playing versus that Juggernaut, so it does have to be cautious. But Alliance, they found a very good footing in this game now with Jug. With this Battle Fury, it's absolutely working.
ILTW, he's thinking about going back in for the Roche here.
Okay.
They're all up. I mean, they do. It's a hard move for Alliance to actually fight around here with the team fight potential that Nigma do have.
And it does die fast. Like, if they're not playing around this area, just the level 2 Corrosive Haze plus Medallion, that Roche starts to tick down quick. Alliance, 30 seconds on Dragon Form. They've got BKB.
Oh, here comes the smoke. Nigma, can they get the jump? Mind control leading in. Alliance waiting on the high ground. S4 is going to get the stomp, put the blink off.
Bottom tower is
He
under
breaks
attack.
away from mind control. Alliance, they know exactly what's being attempted here by Nigma.
Limp still has 15 seconds on DK Form. They're trying to stall it just a little bit longer. D1's coming out. FNG.
Nigma, they're going to get the jump straight away onto FNG. S4 comes in, who's top RTW moves up against the Chrono down. He's managed to catch S4, FNG and Nico Baby as they bring down FNG. Looking over towards S4 now. Nico Baby turns with the Blade Fury, gets the healing ward off. Mind control, trying to stand his ground. Limp focusing GH on the back of it all, brings down the Phoenix. They're moving over, they get the stun off to the three of them. Alliance falling low. Nico Baby trying to fight back, but the bashes come out. Nico Baby falls. ILTW trying to run with the Dragon Tail into the Who Stop Alliance, bring him down. Mind control gets it for a return. Kuro jumping in onto Hanskin. Mind control continuing to get pushed back by Limp. Kuro will be able to shoot down Hanskin here with the little shredder. Turns over towards Limp. Mind control keeping himself alive with the Essence Ring. There's 2 to survive on Nigma, just the 1 on Alliance.
Holy moly, and Miracle dies instantly at the start of the fight. He doesn't even really get anything off besides that Burrow strike, and somehow Nigma's actually still fighting back decently. That Slardar BKB actually doing quite decent for us. Limp just standing on the sidelines, controlling really nicely, but Nico Baby eventually, he does go down. Some good connections with the stuns.
Oh, see that jump again.
Crazy.
It was a solid chrono as well from RTW, getting the 3 of them.
Hanskins always seems to be in the right position, though. Not getting caught in the chrono, able to save the initial go, and then that reset. The Sunray, it's a full duration one to burn and heal. Well, for the most part, so Limp does get that stun follow through, but that cookie, that's the big one we're looking at. It gets Nico Baby locked down long enough for them to just, like you said, the Bash brothers come into play.
Yeah, these bashes are going to be so irritating to play against. If we ever see an ILTW mind control like this, just get the chance to beat down on target. You just can't fight back. There's no counter. You're going to get bashed. You're going to get constantly interrupted.
Got They have to find Hanskin though. Like he's getting these saves off every single time, and he's actually getting a lot of farm because he's just chilling with the Phillies.
Yes,
Ags very soon on Shadow Demon. That's going to be very problematic. You break the bash. Both heroes. Really nice.
And still Roshan prevails. Still up. Neither team able to make it back into the pit.
Alliance is getting much more out of the map. Just whenever there's downtime, they're farming that much more because of the Battle Fury and whatnot from Nico Baby. As Nigma, they kind of have to handhold and just wait for these battles to happen. ILTW has BKB, so now he's got full reign in the team fights to jump into the back.
20 seconds. Everything's going to be back up team fight-wise for Nigma. It's only to be a step for Alliance. They've got the Dragon Form, Omni Slash, Demonic Purge, Stampede, Kelly Offering. They've got the whole lot ready to go.
50 gold till they have Ags on the Shadow Demon too, which is a huge pickup for Hanskin. Nico Baby also has his Ags finished, so Swift Slash will come into play, so maybe they won't be able to control him vulnerable in the bit of the fight. Pops the ult.
They're going to jump mind control. They're going to start the fight. Archer committing with a slash as well. See if they can bring him down. The Chrono's going to come out. RTW's caught the jug, but again, the disruption. Hanskin's able to step and keep Nico Baby safe, allow him to get the blade free off. The Golem's going to get dropped down. Miracle's in trouble as they'll lose the Sanking. RTW's got to run. And they're looking to chase him down. The Swift Slash comes in. They will respect Kuro and GH being there on the high ground. Mind control on the front lines, trying to fight, stand his ground with the BKB. They look to get him out of there, but the BKB comes to an end. They've got the Dragon Tail stun. Mind control's going to go down for a second time, slowly but surely. As he's running, is he able to get out of it? I mean, he's speedy. He's very speedy. The Swift Slash, okay, he's actually going to live there. The movement speed in the river, enough to save him. And as you said, a good job it did there, as he did buy back for that. And that's the team fight done. Alliance,
that's the Roche.
They're into the pit. I mean, that time around, the Chrono came a bit of a weird time from RTW. It came during the slash, and again, Hanskin just able to make sure that Nico Baby doesn't, he's not suffering at all whilst locked down in the Chronosphere.
Hanskin is honestly being MVP for me with these saves. He's got the Ags finished up. He's got all this cast range too. It's tough for ILTW, but he doesn't go for the back line.
Or can they go for the steal, Nick?
They're going to have to try.
Roshan is low. Miracle, is he able to make the jump? It's very, very low. Is he going to go for it? He is. As Alliance, they'll take the Roshan. Nico Baby's going to be able to pick up the edges. On the side, Micro just dies. What's he doing there?
30 seconds.
He's out.
It's a disruption into an Omni. Or into a Swift Slash.
That was just a Swift Slash, yeah.
Uh-oh. The constant team fights. Couple missed ultimates. Couple little saves from Alliance. It's broken Nigma's fights. The Egg and the Chronosphere doing very little in the last fight just because of that disruption. And like you said, he did it early. So...
yeah, they haven't found sort of the perfect time to catch them in the Chrono. It's been a bit of a tricky one for RTW the last few fights. Alliance's positioning just on point.
Yeah, and Miracle's just so squishy. Like, immediately just dies after he gets his stun combo. He's 0, 6, and 9 on this Sanking this game.
Miracle.
He's gone on again.
He just stepped up straight into a disruption. Hey, he's dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now Alliance, they're ready to start pushing it down the lane here. There's 2 heroes down. Nico Baby's got an Aegis.
Radiant's middle tower
An
has fallen.
absolute beast too. Cloak of Flames, Pipe, Vanguard, just gonna tank pretty
Radiant's
much everything here.
is under attack.
Who cares about some kisses? You've got Pipe, even just saving the healing ward. They're just tanking right through with these three.
Radiant's
Chrono's up in a second. The next one, it's got to be a banger
is under attack.
from RTW. I don't think another sort of mech Chrono is just not going to cut it against Alliance right now.
But how do you look at Hanskin? He's got the headband now too. So look at the positioning.
That's true, yeah.
The Warlock and the Shadow Demon.
It's not easy.
On opposite sides. They're not in Chrono AoE. You can't catch both of them.
Radiant's middle barracks.
And Alliance, they're going to be able to get away with it without being jumped at all here by Nigma. The melee racks fall in the mid lane.
Ooh, a very nice pick up there too to get themselves the sliver. Status resist for the jug on top of his status resist. And yeah, Nigma, it really feels like they're gonna have to land like some 3-4 man Chrono with the Phoenix, Sunring, and egging on top for these next fights. Alliance just, they're getting too big. Like everyone on this lineup, like the front line is just too tanky. They have to get access to the back.
They've got to find Hanskin.
Look at this.
Hold him. He's going to stand his ground. The Supernova's going to come out in the high ground. Nico Baby's going to move over straight away, see if he can try and take down the Emperor. They've got the Chrono. This time around, they've got the combo. They set up on top of them. FFG will fall. Now they turn over towards S4. goes down, but they have lost 3. Alliance, new ward out. Nico Baby's got another Swiss Slash ready to go. Jumps over towards GH trying to back off. But with the Blade Fury, Nico Baby chasing him down. Crows jumps out to the side with the cookie, but they're in with the bullet strike over towards Nico Baby. They bring him down once. 2 buybacks coming out from Alliance as they're looking to get back in a position to protect Nico Baby. Nigma are backing away. They're respecting the buybacks from S4 and Hansket as they will retreat.
And they get a pretty damn good setup on the side of Nigma, but they're just too tanky on Alliance now. All these items have just come out. They tank through the entirety of the Chrono and entirety of that egg. Nico Baby barely even dying but once.
Mind control.
Radiant
Is he going to be able to get away? And he's out with the TP, and he's gone. So at the least, Nigma forced a couple of buybacks out from Alliance. Again, that Miracles game getting pushed further and further behind with him also using a buyback himself. And that is, taking the Aegis out of the hands of Nico Baby.
Oh, Miracle, he just shows himself bottom.
Oh, S4?
He's just dead.
He is very dead. Dead yet again.
I can't believe he showed himself down there. Well, he's dead for a long time now. That's a tier 2 and potentially even more damage. And it's gonna give time for, it's gonna give time to Lions to set up good vision around this area too. That was quite a bizarre death.
No, I mean, Alliance is gonna come in with the push pretty hard, I'd imagine. No stanking for a minute. And what's the timing on the Chrono still? Still 40 seconds, no Chronosphere. They're keeping track of that. They've got a good window to try for a second set of racks.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do without they just have to poke with Phoenix. They actually can't commit it to a kill. It's 37 seconds. This is probably a Rux.
This is a big timing. Alliance is continuing to push on with the strength that they have. 20 seconds, no Chronosphere.
RTW still so careful with their positioning.
Yeah.
Even though they know Chrono's probably down, look at Hanskin and FNG. They're just chilling so far back out of the fight.
And there we go. Another melee rack's taken whilst Nigma can do nothing to stop it.
And now Nico Baby was already almost too tanky to die in the last fight. He's got a full Scotty finished up on top of it all now too. This front line of Alliance is just, it's seeming too much. Nigma to break through now.
DD ready for the next bit of action that Nico Baby wants to bring. I'll see that last fight again. This time round, the combo working out, protecting the Supernova. And being able to turn.
Look how tanky he is. He just survives during all of it, even the next stun, even the follow-up cookie, he survives during all this. Just because of that big lead that he got him. And Miracle, like overall, now he's not even like a mid anymore as the tanky. You're kind of like this glorified support. So these deaths and just these diebacks too. Like 2 times now he fought and died right afterwards.
Back in the action, Nigma. Grouping up. And they've got to be...
LTW versus the world.
Yeah. It really is every sort of weight on the shoulders of ILTW for Nigma. If he dies, without this void, they have nothing. It's...
Yeah. And Alliance, they have everyone's carrying their weight, right? It's not just the Jug. They're all actually doing such a good job this time around on Alliance. And Nigma's just trapped in their base during this right now, too. With all their ults at the ready, they can't actually look to make any type of aggressive play. Both teams just chilling. Very careful.
Alliance is going to realize they are in this position of comfort right now. They can almost just sort of wait and force Nigma to play their game.
They're fine if this fight comes to them now. As long as Nico Baby doesn't get 100 to 0'd, he's got to turn with this DD rune big.
DD, Swift Slash, Omni Slash, that's 2-3 heroes down.
Yeah. They're so tanky. Like Limp AC, he's 41 armor, BKB's got the extra magic resist from the Vambrace too. Like these heroes are not gonna go down. It's the same thing. It has to get into the back line. Like Nigma, they have to find Hanskin. But now Hanskin, he has a blink too. So even easier access for him to get in the right position to get these saves.
Double damage.
And they just, Nigma, now they finally step out to be able to get a little bit of farm, but they've been trapped in their base for a very long time now. Both teams just really being careful.
nobody splitting from the squad.
Literally just 5 heroes standing next to each other on both sides. Yeah, just both of them showing their carry, waiting for someone to make the move. Mind control, still no blink dagger. Just do want to point that out. He just is completely neglected at this game.
I mean, I guess he knows that they're going to jump him. But that does leave pretty much, yeah, the entirety of the initiation down to ILTW and Miracle. Of course, one of those, you know, ideally probably Miracle has to get the jump on Hansken. Whilst ILTW is able to go to work on the cores. Otherwise, Hansken's just going to get the saves off.
Yeah, just like maybe Mind Control just like sprints in with BKB and just finds these two backliners. But I feel like maybe he might want the blink, but right now he is saving buyback because he knows the next fight is going to be around that Roche. That's going to be the most important thing. It's 50 seconds till that does spawn. Any other big pickups yet for Alliance? S4 is almost got an Aghanim. That they already didn't really have the damage to kill Nico Baby, throwing a 4.5 second stampede. Oh, sorry, 5.5 second. Apologies. It would be 5.5 with the full ag, so that'd be pretty crazy. We'll definitely not be able to kill Nico Baby.
RTW has been stunned. He's going to need help. Carry off his drop down. He's able to get the time walk off in time, but he's so low times with the chrono. He's locked down Nico Baby. Have they got the damage to take him out? Hansken stepping over and trying to help out. Nico Baby's able to get the slash up, jump down to the low ground. RTW is away with the time walk. Nico Baby gets out the healing wall, but it's taken out immediately. Nico Baby's still got a low slash to go. The Supernova's coming out. Nico Baby committing with the Black Fury, looking to take down the egg. He's able to do so. Brings down the Supernova. 3 dead on Nigma. They'll come out with the 3 buybacks. S4's in with a jump onto ILTW. A 4th buyback from Nigma. As they're trying to fight back into this, Miracle will manage to, this time, be the only one that doesn't actually die. He's able to TP away, but Nigma having 4 buybacks to come out. And Alliance, they're still ready to fight.
Nico Baby was ready to go back in for sure. That was, I mean, it was a little scary for Nico Baby for a second there, but he had the backup. Hansken was there at the ready, watching his HP, covering him. And that was just a weird way it starts out. The two of them kind of just like kiss on the stairs, and then the initiation comes forward from the S4 and starts off with the Egg and the Chrono not comboed. Not comboed well at all this time from Nigma and Alliance.
No, yeah,
we'll be very happy about that.
Getting completely smashed there by Nico Baby's commitment. And now, you know, now Nigma in a very spooky place. They don't have their team fight and they don't have the buybacks. One more fight like that and Alliance will have the series sealed.
12 seconds for that Dragon form. A full Aghanim's now on S4.
I mean, they're trying to force this rush. They're going to be able to make the jump there. They're heading in. They're going to commit straight away and onto the board. Who's going to be able to get the rush out? Rush out will fall as the Nigma get the kill. Aegis also managed to be picked up by ILTW. As he'll have a second life good to go over to the side, though Croy's been run down. Miracle also found. As Nigma lose 2, they've got to get the rest of the 3 out of there. As they're on the run, TPing back to base, ILTW will make it away before anything's there to stop him. So they get the 3 of them out there. They managed to get the Aegis safely out on ILTW. You get the Aghanims?
Well, 2, right? I think the Blessing went to Jug. I didn't see where the cheese went. That's the only one I lost track of.
Yes, Blessing, yeah, correct. Blessing did indeed go to Nico Baby. S4 got the cheese. So Alliance able to get 2 of the pickups from the Roche, but Nigma did get the kill, and they did get the Aegis.
They did. No way that Nigma was looking for a fight, though. That was them just looking for some type of steal play. So they do come out with that at the least, and they're looking for a wrapper up, but Limp, he runs right into it.
He is. He's going to be able to get the jump over to GH. GH needs help, and he needs it now. As he's away at RTW, he's going to get jumped here. They've caught him with a hoof stop. As he's able to still jump away with the time walk.
They can't defend high ground. There's no egg. Even when they have Chrono Spear at the ready, now they're not going to be able to battle around.
Yeah, Alliance just pushing on here, taking the tier 3 tower. Nico Baby's been passed over the cheese for the next fight. As they get in the racks, they're looking for those megas. I mean, Mind Control's getting jumping here. These just getting burst completely. Mind Control gone. Out of the game for 90. RTW trying to get in with the bashes onto Nico Baby here. I've got the support backup. They have got damage from the Ultimates, but the jump in over to Kuro. Kuro's going to run. Nico Baby staying on target, but Miracle's in with a power stroke. Protecting Kuro, but the carry offering drop down to the 3 of them. They're moving. ILTW's low. He jumps back towards the fountain with the time walk. Turns towards Nico Baby. Another slash coming out. They're getting dragged over towards the fountain. They got the megas. The racks are down. He's in. He's got the chrono out of the 3 of them, but he's immediately stunned. And where's the damage back up? They just don't have it at all. ILTW does not have the follow-up required to get the kills. Miracle dies. The setup's there with a disruption. Follow boost up from S4. They take down ILTW once. They're going to be able to do it again the second time. And even if they don't, it doesn't matter. The tier 4s fall. Alliance onto the Ancient. As this game, this series, it is over. As Alliance will take game 3. The series is theirs. 2-1 against Nigma.
Such good plays. Just playing into so much team fight and keeping their cool even while it's all happening, and just some crazy fights happening around their tier 2 and